have been falling for 30 minutes.
If you actually think that I was just the right gay guy, gay guy, gay guy, gay guy, nigga, gay guy, gay guy. And you check your
I'm a kiss in the backseat. You know just how we do.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the world's wokest warrior, primitive-sided, toxic fanboy aligned with the like-minded Tony, Tone Deaf, rocking with you. I want to welcome one and all to the Clown World Review. We are back with another week, year 2 of the Monday Night War retrospective. Shout out to Keely Chow, shout out to Clone Geek, Brutal Morningwood, and Parrothead. Thank you for joining us. Shout out to everyone in the chat. It's always good to see you. Man, I just super fan Adam Shawhan. I don't think he's in the chat yet, so he won't know. Let's go ahead and go around and introduce our panel for the evening first. He's got the red, white, and blue running through his veins like he's Demi Lovato. He was born and raised in the USA, like Mike Obama's cock. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the birthday boy, too. Mr. Etep Wokuian from Etep Wokuian's Place to Be Reviews. What's up, brother?
What is going on, man? Hey, how you doing? Hail the chat. Hail this wonderful panel full of fucking superstars. Hail to you, brother. Thank you, man, for having me on every Tuesday. Thanks for the birthday shout out. And yeah, I'm looking forward to talking some wrestling. You know this is what I've been doing literally all day, is working on a WCW video. So I'm more than ready to talk some wrestling because I've just been talking to my dog all day and she hasn't answered back yet. So no matter how many edibles I ate.
Hail Red Gaze, good to see you. Happy 24th birthday, man. Happy 24th.
Thank you, brother.
Birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it. If I look this good at 25, man, I'll be lucky.
Hell yeah. So next up, let me see if we've got an intro for our next panelist.
Got the magic stick. I know if I can hit once, I can hit twice.
Hey guys, it's Angelous Draven here. Always a pleasure to talk wrestling with you guys every week. That I can be here. Shit is getting real in WCW right now.
What?
What? We found out who the 4th and the 5th members are. So what? But yeah, it should be awesome. Happy birthday, Etep.
What?
Happy birthday, Etep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Always a pleasure to be here, and love shooting the shit with you guys about wrestling.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you. Dude, whenever you're able to make it on, those are always the best weeks, man. So it's good
thanks.
to see you. Yeah, definitely. Next up, guard your toes, motherfuckers. It's Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is the Guinea Pig Warrior coming at you, giving it to you straight. I'm taking no prisoners, and if you want to know, fuck around and find out. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Hail, Tommy. How are you, man? It's great to see you.
Doing good, doing good. It's another lovely day, nibbling toes and taking no prisoners.
Hell yeah.
Pimping hoes and nibbling toes.
Damn straight. I like that.
You can use that
shit.
one.
It reminds me of that Scott Steiner line. What was that? You want some? Come get some. You don't like me? Bite me.
No, that was Ricky. That was Ricky.
Was that
Yep,
Rick?
that was little brother.
Oh, I
Yep.
thought
that was little brother
Scott using
Ricky.
that.
I thought
Oh,
it was
okay.
Scott. Is it? I
No, I thought
Rick
that was
just
no
barked.
no Rick. No, that was Ricky that said that. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong, but I was mistaken. I thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken. But I thought it was. I could have swore it was Rick, but
Well, let's introduce our next panelist. He's in a lot of worlds, or in a lot of areas in the world. He's known as the third Steiner brother. So let's go ahead and introduce Mr. Superfan Adam Shawhan.
That is right, except for I'm not from Michigan. That would be Mr. Etep, the birthday boy. Great to be here. Glad the computer's working.
Hell yeah.
Let's have some fun with some wrestling.
Yeah, see, Adam had to call in last week how they did during mid-90s wrestling. You'd get the wrestler calling into the fucking commentator's booth halfway during a match. Like, yeah. So, always weird because you kind of knew they were just right backstage in gorilla position too. Like, just fucking bring them out. We all know this is pre-recorded. They were here last week. Stop trying so hard, Vince.
What do you mean?
Stephanie.
Oh, I love you, Red Gaze. That hashtag is marvelous.
That's like Vince with the Diesel and fucking Razor Ramon thing that they're like building up to.
Yeah, they're starting to build up to that. JR's announcing, his sources exclusively are letting us know that Diesel and Razor headed back to the WWE. They've hit a snag in Razor's contract negotiations, but they're coming back to the WWF, everyone. I wonder how this is going to turn out.
Like shit.
Hey, Red Gaze is laughing at you, Adam.
Oh, yeah, of course he is. I have to do that. That way, we can see you.
It's like you and Tom Cruise can just sit there and watch yourselves on TV all day. I don't know anyone else who can do that. So.
Hi, I can watch myself all day long, bad. I can watch never. Yeah, what? Never mind. Hi.
Yes. So, an interesting week in wrestling. Number one, the final week last week, I believe it was August 26, 1996. Raw was preempted. And it's not even for the Westminster Dog Show. It's for the fucking tennis finals. Do you remember they do that as well for Raw?
Yeah.
Wimbledon.
Yeah, Wimbledon. Yeah, like
Yeah.
So we get to see King Richard prepare his fucking daughters instead of watching Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it's lame.
Oh, it wasn't Will Smith smacking Chris Rock across the face?
Well, that would come decades later.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, back in 1996, it was just King Richard being an uncertain asshole, and we just wanted to watch Stone Cold, so.
Yeah, I think you were getting confused, Draven. I think that was Chris Rock smacking Will's wife across the face with something.
You know, this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I would do dirty things to Serena Williams, and she likes white guys. So
just
there's
like
that.
It's like I'm just saying, if there's the rumor that Michelle Obama is actually a Mike, and not to make it all political, guys, I'm sorry, but it's just look at Serena. Like, yeah, she looks like Ice Train. That's all I'm like.
Nah, Venus. Yeah, Venus is uglier than 3 sheets of shit. I like Serena because she looked like she could pick me up over her head if I can't lift something off the find something on the shelf.
I would rather Jade Cargill than her.
Oh, well, Jade Cargill any day. I mean, she looks like Jack Storm from the X-Men.
Yeah, she does.
And Plus, she has more abs than most people have brain cells. I mean,
That's true.
See,
I'm down.
it's Red's fault that fucking Raw was preempted after SummerSlam every fucking year. You're like, we got someone watching, we got a viewer.
Yeah, see, I used to watch
Justification.
tennis. I watched tennis, but it was always women's tennis, and a lot of I like Sam Stosur too, who she's a lesbian, of course, from Australia. She'd hit the ball and be like, "Hoi bad, hoi bad, hoi bad" with a return serve. It was great.
You know, I don't mind a little tennis, but my thing is like, I'm not trying to Monday night tennis. You know, it's like Monday nights is wrestling.
Give me that beach volleyball any day.
Oh, okay. I missed Red's previous comment. So, yeah, he wasn't watching tennis then. So you just left the rest of us out here to dry, Red. We all just admitted to our weird female tennis fetish. I'm not
I was
hating.
the only one that's normally quiet.
Yeah. I'm not hating. When I was 12, I won a G.I. Joe board game and a bunch of Silverhawks action figures from a local TV station. They recorded a promo of me showing what I won and bragging about it. That's fucking I'd watch the shit out of that.
That's dope.
Too.
Nice.
That's dope.
I worked security
Oh, yeah.
at the 2011 Latin Grammys. So I was like, and there was a lot of people I hadn't heard of. It was a lot of people's first time in North America from South America, But I got to walk all kinds of stars up the green carpet, and I was on Telemundo that night. I was totally fucking watching the shit out of myself.
Nice.
The only thing I ever wished that I could have won and been promoted for, and anybody from that time knows it, the Toys R Us giveaway.
Oh, yeah.
Where you go in, you fill up a couple
Yep.
shopping
Hell
carts
yeah.
with their stuff. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And these little, you'd watch the ones that they'd like televise, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You take your whole arm and you just go whoosh, and you use it like a freaking scoop. And you don't just
I would've
grab
been in
one
one
at a
aisle.
time.
I would have been in one
Fucking
aisle.
grab
One
that
aisle.
shit and scoop it in.
The whole aisle of Transformers right into the cart.
Exactly, man.
Transformers, Nintendo, Segas.
Yeah, I would have been in the video game aisle. And shout out to another monster, by the way, before I forget. We all do relax when you get here, just a little bit.
What up, man?
A little bit. 33 and a third % chance of relaxation.
Yeah. So, back to the tennis thing. The reason we bring it up is because Raw was preempted last week, August 26, 1996, and now this week it's going to be preempted again. So Nitro goes unopposed, but pulls a 4.3 rating. And then we're going to get Raw Championship Friday. On my page here, I don't have a rating for that. I try to look it up here in a second. But, yeah, so Nitro last week unopposed gained a 4.2. They pulled over somewhere around like a quarter of Raw's audience. Then this week it looks like they retained that audience and then pulled in a few more. They're probably at that point had gone 2 weeks without their wrestling fix. They're like, screw it, I'm gonna watch Nitro. So yeah, but
Wise decision.
That being said, though, I think this Raw, like usually when I think of Raw Thursday, it's like, kind of in second gear. It's better than like, let's say, it's almost like a really good episode of Sunday Night Heat or something, like it's kind of B tier, but not too bad. They'll still have Undertaker on the show or something to liven it up. But, usually the Raw Thursdays weren't as good as a Monday night. But this Championship Friday, it was pretty good. So we'll jump into that. But let's get to Nitro first from September 2nd, 1996. Comes to you from Chattanooga, Tennessee, the UTC Arena. Current world champion is Hollywood Hulk Hogan. U.S. champion is Ric Flair. World Tag Champions Harlem Heat. World Television Champion is Lord Steven Regal because he won it off Lex Luger at some point. Not sure. I'm pretty sure last week Luger was still television champion. And the Cruiserweight champion Rey Mysterio. Now tell me that's not a good championship lineup. World is Hogan. U.S. champ Flair, tag champs Harlem Heat, television champ Steven Regal, cruiserweight Rey Mysterio. It's fucking
Can you
legendary.
dig it, sucker?
Yes, I can. I can dig it. I just can't smell it.
Well, I hope not. I heard
Can't
there's a
see
lot
it.
of unclean ones running around. You got to be careful with that, Tony.
Yeah. So let's just, I was going to try another format, but let's just start from the bottom and work our way up. This is easier. Not even easier, but I don't forget anything that way. So the night opens up with Diamond Dallas Page versus Alex Wright. This is around the time where the Diamond Cutter starts to get over a little bit. DDP starts hitting it out of nowhere and from different positions and stuff. So you hear a little noise. He's still heel at this point, Page, but he's starting to become a bigger deal, especially since Nitro went 2 hours, because before that you'd see him on TV sometimes on Monday, but he was usually wrestling dark matches on Monday night. So Page is starting to come along.
He had a long feud over the TV title with Johnny B. Bad when Bad was champion.
None of it was on
and
TV.
They were all dark matches, which meant they were like worldwide or, WCW Pro or WCW main event match. They ended up going on there, which doesn't do a title belt justice. I know you need a title belt for all your different programming, in some respect, to give it validity. But it seems an injustice when you have a really good worker like a Mark Mero or Johnny B. Bad or a Diamond Dallas Page with your title.
Yeah, and you never see the title. It gets no love on TV.
No.
Not on Monday nights where it counts. So, DDP ends up winning that match with the Diamond Cutter.
That was a nice finish. That was a nice finish.
I thought it was a
He
decent
baited.
match, too.
Dude, Alex Wright, I don't care. This might be unpopular. One of the most underrated singles workers that should have lived in like the mid card because he could have carved out a really good niche there, but they really screwed his gimmick up later on. Changing him into Berlin, and then you got the Wall with him. It really did, because he was a pure wrestler.
That was Alex Wright when Berlin first debuted, and then my buddy was like, "No, that's Alex Wright." I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Well, once again, you go back to that thing about he wasn't really great at the promo stuff, but he didn't need to be, because there was a lot of other people that weren't very good at promos initially early on. Like Benoit early on was not good at all with promos, and he didn't need to be.
No, because his in-ring work spoke for itself.
And he never became like great at promos either. He just got better. Kind of like, I like to put Jeff Hardy in that same class. Like he was a pretty awful promo at first, and he's gotten better.
That's what he had Matt for, though.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I think? I think the one that would always put me to sleep every time he had a promo was Dean Malenko. God, nobody could put you to sleep faster. It was like listening to a professor speak.
He didn't need to talk. He could work his ass off, dude. In between in the squared circle, dude was upper echelon talent with independent wrestler size. That was his problem. It really was. Dude had indie wrestler size. I've seen bigger guys on the indies, but he was one of the best pure wrestlers they had. From a pedigree too. His dad was a worker, Boris. So I mean, it sucks. But now, I mean, you look at some of these guys that were bad back then, and look at what you got now. Every promo is scripted down to the letter, to where it's not even fun anymore.
No,
in the Fed,
lost all the soul.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't have the feeling that anything can happen anymore.
It takes that surprise factor out of it.
Yep. Everything's so factory farmed now.
It's like everything else. There's no imagination left, even in these people that are performing.
No,
it's all homogenized. But I've listened to people talk about it, and they're like, "Oh, but we like that's the part that we like." It's like they don't even give a shit about the wrestling. Like there could be no wrestling on the program, and as long as they're running around doing goofy ass shit like all the time, people would be all right
Cut
with it.
promos.
Yeah, like
yeah.
That's not what wrestling is. Like, if you want that, go watch a fucking soap opera or some shit.
Yep.
Yeah. So, speaking of soap operas, after the match, Gene Okerlund interrogates Nick Patrick again for being a tad slow on the pinfall. Yeah.
Speaking of bad promos, Nick Patrick on the microphone, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I think he's not so bad, like given like what it could be, but yeah, it's like it's obvious now that Nick is bought and paid for, but they keep kind of pushing this out to the pay-per-view.
Yep.
Yeah, and then we get a little stupid promo with Sensational Sherry and Colonel Rob Parker, which is a weird combination, but yeah,
that's when he got her like the chaps and the vest, right?
Chaps. Yeah,
dude. Yeah, I was like,
Stone Cold stole the vest.
You know Sherry ain't gonna wear nothing under that, right? She's so pilled out, she don't even care.
I'm alright with this.
What up 24 Eyes? What up 24 Eyes? Yeah, dude, Sherry Martel. I don't care. I thought Sherry Martel was fire back then, man.
Yep. Same.
I was like, she was just like, she was so, because I got into that freaky stuff early, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, Sherry Martel, this chick, she's just a fucking lunatic. So
I don't know why. Why do I picture a small Etep sitting there like, oh, that girl's got some huspa.
Mom, what do you think? Can I bring her home? She got enough chutzpah for you? My mom's like, don't you bring that devil home. Don't you bring that goyim home.
Yeah. So next up, we get leather vest, leather chaps, and again, Austin stole the vest, Michael stole the chaps, and they matched at WrestleMania 14. It was really, really sweet. So we get the WCW World Tag Team Champions Harlem Heat versus Greg Valentine and Buddy Valentino. Shade under 5 minutes later, we get a Harlem Hangover, and yeah, Buddy Valentino was he was down for the count.
Dog. Can we talk about Buddy Valentino for just a minute?
Sure.
I don't want to disrespect him because he made it to that level, but I mean, dude, if you're looking for jobbers, I mean, you had to. You can't tell me that fat sack of shit was at the power plant. Like, that dude was a straight up like local talent that Valentine probably knew and vouched for, and they're just like, whatever, because Greg was a veteran. Nobody was going to question Greg Valentine. It's not like it was a main event match. They just need him to do a fucking job. So if Valentine said he was competent, that guy looked like a cross between, like, what? I don't know. He looked like a fucking, like, Dollar General or a Big Wheel, if anybody remembers that store, Adrian Adonis. Yeah. Like, I mean, like, what a sack of wet potatoes. Like, holy shit.
Unlike Adrian Adonis, he wasn't legitimately tough. Adrian Adonis was a tough cookie.
Adrian Adonis was tough, yeah. This guy, like, I mean, I was watching him. I'm like, he was competent in the ring, don't get me wrong. But it was just like, I mean, his body, I was just like, what the fuck?
He was actually born in Las Vegas, Nevada. Nice.
Really?
He went by Playboy Buddy Rose, and he did wrestle for the AWA, WWF, Pacific.
That's who
North
that was?
Wrestling. Yeah, but when I search Buddy Valentino, WCW, like, one of the first things to come up is a YouTube match with with him and Greg Valentine against Harlem Heat on the night of September 2nd, 96. So good times. Nice. What's up, Vinny?
Hey guys.
Hey.
Happy birthday to
Hey, Vin. Thank you, Vinny. I did not know that was Buddy. I didn't even think to Google him. I sure as fuck didn't recognize him. Like, holy shit. I was just like, who's this fat fucking jobber? This local talent fucking hack. Like I said, he was competent in the ring. He just looked like a fucking sack of shit.
Well, he took the Harlem Hangover, and Harlem Heat, they were supposed to defend the tag titles against the Steiners. that's going to change to the Nasty Boys, and I believe later in this episode we're going to find out why. Yeah, I think a little. Yep, we're going to find out. I'll get to that in a minute. So, yeah, so Harlem Heat, they win their match. It's announced they'll defend the titles against the Nasty Boys instead of the Steiners. One of the Steiners are injured, and WCW tries to be smooth about it, but they're not that smooth. Next up, we have Dean Malenko versus Chris Jericho. Yeah, Jericho gets the win. This is his second match, on Nitro at least. His first match was a little weird, and they ended it. And he's like, I don't want to win like that. And the fans are booing the shit out of him. Like,
Alex Wright.
Yep.
Yeah, where he kind of KO'd himself.
Yeah. So the fan, not a good start for Chris Jericho in WCW. The fans were kind of like, what's this guy's problem? But he comes back in this match. They wrestle about a 9-minute match. Not bad for Nitro. Some good back and forth. Again, it's Dean Malenko versus Chris Jericho. And not just Jericho, but a Jericho really trying to prove himself. So good action.
Yeah.
He does a roll up for a 1, 2, 3. And yeah, it was a good match. Definitely not bad. Then we get a video pack.
I was going to say it was a good finish because you don't want to make Malenko necessarily look weak because he was in a program with Benoit still at that point, wasn't he? I think they were still kind of feuding a little bit.
I think that he just lost the Cruiserweight Championship to Ray as well a couple weeks ago.
Okay, so he's got the deal. So he's got the deal going. He's probably still got it going with Ray then. At that point, I can't remember all of it because I'm doing 2 different time periods right now. But what I'm saying, Malenko's involved in another angle. You don't want to shit on him or poo-poo him outside of his angle. So psychology-wise, a roll-up is a good way to end it because it's quick. Lightning strikes, it can happen to anyone, obviously. So it's a nice way. It gives Jericho a W, gives him a little more momentum debuting, especially, like you said, after the Alex Wright debacle the week before.
Yeah,
so
not a good
you've
debut.
got no. I thought that was kind of a whack way to. I mean, Jericho was kind of a baby face at this point. So I mean, like I said, going back to psychology wise, I can kind of understand the why he did it. It's a baby face thing to do. But in the grand scheme of things, you're there to win. So this is a good win for him, and like I said, still keeps Malenko looking strong without kind of burying him.
Hell yeah. Shout out to the lovely Sherry. It's great to see you, by the way. Thank you for joining us here on the Monday Night War Retrospective. So, yeah, so we get a quick video. We get a quick video package. It's hyping up Rey Mysterio. He's defending the Cruiserweight Championship against Super Callow at the Fall Brawl. Watch that match too. It was pretty good. So next we get the Giant with Jimmy Hart versus Brad Armstrong. Outside the building, a black limo pulls up that may or may not be the NWO. Brad Armstrong goes for a missile drop kick. Giant staggers back. Then Brad charges at the Giant and gets bamboozled with the choke slam. That glitzy gulper for the 1, 2, 3 in a little under 4 minutes. Then we get a following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order, and it's Hogan talking about Flair, Arn, Sting, and Luger, and how he's going to destroy them at War Games. Just a little bit of a hype for that, and that brings us into hour 2. Tony Schiavone and Larry Zbyszko were the commentators in hour 1. For hour 2, we get Eric Bischoff, Bobby Heenan. And now the third man for hour 2, Mike Tenay.
I love Mike Tenay.
Cyberfrog's dad. Like, he just looks so...
I love Mike Tenay's knowledge of the business, man. Dude was an encyclopedia. I did. I loved... I could listen to Mike Tenay call matches just because of his knowledge of the business, especially when it came to, Mexico and Japan and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I did. I like him and Shivani worked really well together too. They had such a good dynamic.
His TNA work is kind of like it's had an effect because I didn't mind him in WCW. He is the guy from Las Vegas. I actually liked Mike Tenay back then. Like he'd talk about every October they'd go out to Las Vegas for Halloween Havoc, and he's like, "We're going to my home, and my granddaughter's going to be there attending her first wrestling event." You know, so I felt a connection with Mike Tenay. But now when I think of him, I just think of fucking total nonstop action, just some really. That wasn't
him and Tony Schiavone like going back and forth in TNA.
Check this out though. Schiavone wasn't in TNA, was he?
He came in and they had like a feud thing going.
I did.
I don't remember that.
I was like, I know he was calling baseball for a while, like
AAA ball. He went back to baseball because that's what he started doing. What I was gonna say about Tenay and TNA was, his work, I thought, in TNA was still on par, but the problem was you had him paired with Don West. All right?
Yeah, so bad.
Don West is like 100 times worse than Mark Madden. All right? And that other, what's that other fucking idiot? Scott Hudson?
Yeah, I know. Oh, fuck. And Tenay shouldn't be the lead guy. He's okay off on the side, but he is not.
He's a color guy. He's your color man.
Like an analyst. Like
more of an analyst. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't belong in that like main driver's seat when it comes to commentating. You know, and no offense to anyone that likes him. It's just partly him. It was kind of hard to get through a lot of TNA. So, and a lot of it was partly him, but a lot of it was the 6-sided ring or drunk Jeff Hardy or Kurt Angle
I remember
going off fucking rails for a little while there. We get a recap of last week. The NWO spray painted the Turner production trailer. Then Ted DiBiase showed up in Flash 4 and 5, and
this is him in TNA. And Paul Bearer, I guess, was over there for a little bit.
Holy crap. I didn't realize how big Paul Bearer got.
Yep.
Jesus, Percy was huge.
Yeah. R.I.P. Percy Pringle.
Yep.
What year did he go?
It was a couple years ago.
2014. I'll have to look,
Look at Glinzer, Tony. Worst of all time, in my opinion, Michael Cole. Yeah. I have no argument for that against that at all.
I wasn't a fan of Coach either.
Yeah, Michael Cole. I can't believe he's still there. Like,
he must be really good at doing one thing, and it ain't behind the TNA.
Hang out with
he 2013.
Yeah, March 5th.
2013 when Percy died.
Oh, wow.
See, like, I would have preferred they kept Todd Pettingill around than Michael Cole.
Ham sandwich?
Dude, Michael Cole is Mike Adamle bad. And Mike Adamle was like a fucking stain on the business. Like, he's Vicky Guerrero, Stephanie McMahon all rolled into one. That's how bad Mike Adamle was.
Yeah.
It's bad enough Vicky Guerrero's in AEW. And with Brandon.
Yeah.
So, back to the show. Yeah, so we get a flashback. They spray paint the Turner production truck. They beat up the 4 Horsemen, Sting and Luger at the end of the show. And I was talking about that because there's only 3 NWO members at the time. And they took out like 6 guys. So, and I mean, left them messed up. So, next up we get Randy Savage versus Ron Studd. Studd falls to the Macho elbow at 2 minutes and 44 seconds. Okerlund comes into the ring. And Savage talks about his next 2 big matches. He's got the Giant at Fall Brawl, which he's blaming the Giant. The Giant said he had this. He could handle Hogan, and then he ended up dropping the title to Hogan. So he's taken out the Giant at Fall Brawl, and then he's in the fast lane to Halloween Havoc to challenge Hollywood Hogan for the WCW World Championship. Savage guarantees victory in both matches. Next up, we have Sting and Luger versus Rick and Scott Steiner. And now this is why Harlem Heat's match changed. Again, they were supposed to defend the WCW World Tag Titles against the Steiner brothers at Fall Brawl. That's been changed to the Nasty Boys. For this match, we get the bell rings. Nick Patrick is the referee. We all know there's something up there. So Lex Luger and Rick Steiner tie up. And then Steiner kind of shoves Luger off of him. And Luger grazes Nick Patrick. And Nick Patrick calls for the bell at 38 seconds into the match. Now, the real story behind this is Scott Steiner's injured. And he's going to be out for about 4 or 5 months. They, for some reason, were trying to play that off on TV instead of just, hey, Steiner's injured, he'll be back. So they gave the fans a 38-second match. The fans were pissed off because I don't know how many people went to a WCW show, but when you got Sting coming out there and you got the Steiners out there, I mean, Sting, the first time I saw him, I marked out, like, because he was, back then, he was a legend. Like, Sting was the shit.
Yeah. Sting is the shit.
And even being like like I said, man, I watched Sting since the NWA days.
Yeah.
You know, him and Flair had some legendary matches.
Yeah.
Dude he stayed in WCW until they shut the doors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he didn't go to the Fed for what, 14 years after that.
Never went anyway.
No,
but, you know, that's just
all they wanted to do was bury him.
Yeah, exactly.
All they wanted to do was bury him.
They didn't even do it in a good way, like Taker versus Sting. You know,
yeah,
it was fucking Triple H, of course.
You know, and then Seth in his buckle bomb fucking people up.
Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, how many years was he asking for that to be like one of his last matches too?
I know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I know. So
hey, Tony Glinzer has a question. Who is a better heel referee, Nick Patrick or Danny Davis? Dangerous Danny Davis, who worked a tag team match with the Hart Foundation against with the British Bulldogs and Roddy Piper, I believe it was. Right? I think that's that 6-man tag. And Nick Patrick, did Nick Patrick ever work an actual match? Yeah, he did against Hebner during the Invasion angle. Against Earl Hebner, I think it was.
I don't know. I still say the best referee heel, and then eventually he became a manager, was Bill Alfonso, because that guy was a danger not only to himself but everybody else around him.
yeah,
him and his goddamn whistle.
Hell yeah. So, yeah. So the fans do get something that you don't get to see often from Sting. You know, he's usually cool, calm, and collected, but Sting lost his fucking shit on Nick Patrick here for calling that DQ. I mean, Sting lost his shit. He was mad, real mad. So that'll kind of like interweave into the next match. We get the 4 Horsemen with the ladies, of course, versus the Dungeon of Doom with Jimmy Hart. Again, another WCW. This is where it's messed up. So the NWO is the heels now, but the 4 Horsemen still kind of act like heels, and so do the Dungeon of Doom. So it's like, no wonder why the NWO got over.
Yeah, but when it comes to fighting the NWO, they like kind of like join forces, I guess you can say.
Yeah. So, number one, during this match, we do cut to Sting and Luger, who chase Nick Patrick outside to the black limo, NWO's limo. And Sting puts a rock or a cinder block through the car door window that Nick Patrick had gone through. So the limo drives off. Yeah. The limo drives off, and Sting and Luger, using their white privilege, confiscated a patrol unit, a police car from the fucking cop. Like, we're going to have to confiscate. This is wrestling business. Please step back, officer. And they fucking take off in the cop car after the limo. While the
it was a black cop too, and 2 white guys took his car, which makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Totally retroactively in 2022, I'm triggered by that event in 1996. So I feel I'm entitled to monetary compensation. You can call my cousin Sam Bernstein and Associates at 1-800-CALL-SAM. 1-800-CALL-SAM.
They need to cut it off the peacock.
My
Back
lawyer
to you, Tony.
is Better Call Saul. Saul Goodman.
I I don't know how they didn't hit Patrick in that limo with that brick.
Yeah.
He fucking rifled that thing through that window. We got 16 people watching live right now. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed.
Yes.
Sorry, Tony.
Thank you. So, yeah. So hopefully this is the end of the 4 Horsemen Dungeon of Doom debacle, because they lose pretty decisively. Okay, so Flair, Flair puts Sullivan in the figure 4, and then Woman, to prove her allegiance, because she was crying over Sullivan's corpse a couple weeks ago when Benoit almost murdered him, which would probably come back on them one day. Yeah, she and I loved when a woman would do this. She would give Flair extra leverage for the figure 4. She would grab his hands and pull, and yeah. So Flair puts Sullivan in the figure 4. He doesn't win through submission, but Sullivan's shoulders drop to the mat for a 1, 2, 3. And yeah, that was kind of the end of the main event, but we're not done, because we get a really fun ending here where the NWO shows up and starts beating everyone up just like last week, except this time here comes the Giant to save the day. The fans are cheering. He runs in the ring. The NWO kind of scatter, and then the Giant grabs the Barbarian, his own teammate, his own Dungeon of Doom brother, and choke slams him. And then he grabs Ming and choke slams him. And then he walks up, and him and Kevin Nash embrace. The Giant becomes the 5th man to join the NWO. But wait a minute. Randy Savage storms the ring with a steel chair. He creams Giant with the chair, creams Hall with the chair, and Nash takes a chair shot. He goes for Hogan. Hogan performs a takedown, drops Savage on his back, but Savage is able to get back up, and Hogan just low blows him. And then Savage gets a choke slam, 3 leg drops from Hulk Hogan, and now here comes the spray paint.
Yep.
They paint a yellow streak down Savage's spine. Just beat the shit out of him. I mean, these are really exciting endings to Nitro.
They even spray paint the NWO on the other side on his stomach.
Yeah,
and chest, and then they flip him over and give him that yellow skunk.
Yeah,
but wasn't it nice of Hogan to block his hair with his hand to make sure he didn't get it on his hair and his it was specific where he was spraying.
Yeah, and I get so tired of washing the spray paint off if I was Randy Savage, because he takes a lot. So, they go over to the announce table, start tearing that up. They give a pretty... Okay, here's an epic moment. Here's a moment that gets replayed a lot throughout the callbacks to this time, but damn, Giant flopped his lines. Him and Hogan were supposed to say together, whether you like it or whether you don't, it's the best thing going today. But Hogan says whether you like it, while Giant stumbles through that sentence. And then he says, or whether you don't, and Giant says, or whether you don't like it. And it just, I can't.
I noticed him flubbing lines and doing shit that he wasn't probably supposed to, because it looked out of place.
And I have half the brain that you do.
Well, he did get whacked in the head with a chair.
Yeah, that knee was drunk a lot back then.
That's why he was called the Big Slow.
Well, I mean,
He'll make up for it at Fall Brawl. He does. Giant makes up for it at Fall Brawl and gets the lines right that time. But it's like, man, you're standing there with Hulk Hogan. Like, you better.
Yeah, because he was a Daisy Fresh rookie.
Yeah.
He was basically still a rookie at this point. I mean, he'd been there for a year. But still, I mean, he was he was kind of green.
They moved him in and out of the powerhouse extremely fast. Like, he spent
the power plant.
Yeah, the power plant. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Yep. Dude,
would they give him a couple months there at most?
I think so. That was it. Dude, it was like they had lightning in a bottle with him, and Bischoff wanted him, and they did. he was athletic enough at that time to do most of the stuff, but like Tony was alluding to before, his delivery of the few lines that were scripted out for him, it's like he stumbled with that because he wasn't used to having to rehearse, the rehearsed dialogue like that. He'd only have to say a few things, grunt a lot and just look menacing for the most part. But no, I do remember that, not only from just watching it, but from watching it, and it was like, yeah, and that was what I was thinking too. Was what you're up here with Hulk Hogan, bro? Like you need to be on point with this, like because you can be, you might not be in that limelight that long if you keep fucking up. But
you ever notice though, like most of the big guys, when you get the really big guys like that, I mean, I know Nash is pretty big and everything, but when you're talking like somebody who's like huge, like the Giant, Khali, El Gigante, that guy, all those guys, you hardly ever heard them really talk.
Yeah,
at
no,
all.
they never said anything.
Yeah, I think a lot of those wrestling organizations kept them quiet on purpose.
Yeah, they should have a mystery to him. Like someone like Kevin Nash, it's fine for his character to talk. He's big, sexy, but these bigger like monster types, you should kind of keep them quiet.
Yeah,
that's how the Undertaker works.
Yeah, well, you didn't. He was fine talking later, but yeah, he didn't talk for a long time when he.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, you didn't want to hear Umaga cutting a promo.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Red gaze mongoloids, he says. Or Kane, the big red retard, as they so affectionately called him.
Yep.
But no, you're right though, Tony. The big guys like that, they don't need to talk. It's like they do. Khali, nobody want to hear Khali talk. Nobody want to hear Elegante talk. I mean, it wouldn't have worked. It detracts from the monstrosity, the spectacle of him. It's like King Kong Bundy was the same way. Like he did a few here and there, but Bobby Heenan did most of Bundy's talking from him, from what I can remember anyway.
Abyss is another one. For a long time they kept him quiet.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they shouldn't talk. Like, I'm sorry, like if I had Abyss, I wouldn't have him talk. Like they always eventually cross that line, and I mean the character loses something. It does.
And some of them should have never crossed that line. Tugboat.
Oh Jesus! I need to find that. I need to find that picture of me with Abyss.
Andre the Giant Glenzer. He's like, all right. Yeah, I can't. We all know what Andre. So if you've seen Willow, it's the same fucking thing, but in tights. Like,
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride.
Here,
yeah,
same fucking
Bride,
movie.
Willow, whatever.
It's the same fucking movie.
It's
I'm gonna share
inconceivable.
this. You hush your mouth. I'm gonna share this real quick. There's me. This is when I was commissioner at Apex. But there's Rhino. This is when Rhino was a regular with us. I just wanted to share that real quick. He was in WCW at one point, but yeah,
That's cool.
And was that guy bending over for you? Was it your birthday then too?
He was bending over for Rhino. Can't you see?
He wanted a better spot on the card. So
hail Frankie Nose, hail small time Republic.
Yeah.
Hail small time Republic. It's great to see both of you. Fucking A.
Frankie knows.
I don't know if there was one thing that Andre always said very clearly, it was when he called somebody boss, which was like at the end of every sentence.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
unless he didn't like you.
Yeah. You want to get called boss by Andre. So next up we have the preempted episode of Raw Championship Friday, which took place September 6, 1996. A good show, in my opinion. We're gonna go ahead and move forward with the Intercontinental title tournament. We're in the quarterfinals. This was again on September 6, 1996, from Wheeling, West Virginia at the Civic Center. Current WWF champion is Shawn Michaels. The Intercontinental champion is vacant, as Ahmed Johnson dented his kidney. Then we have World Tag Champs, the Smoking Guns. They need to get their tag team division on game, because it's like these people have held the titles for way too long, but it's like basically either them or the fucking Body Donnas. Like, yeah, it's not good. So
I give it to the Godwins.
Yeah, and the Godwins too. It's like we need some tag teams in the WWF. So the night starts with the Intercontinental Title Tournament quarterfinals. Psycho Sid versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Helmsley's still kind of in the doghouse. Lately, he's been bringing girls out with him. Then Mr. Perfect's been coming out and kind of taking him from Hunter while he's in the ring getting his ass kicked. And same thing happens tonight. He brings a girl named Kimberly out. Sid choke slams and power bombs Triple H. And while that's going on, Mr. Perfect comes out, leaves with Kimberly. And this is all leading up to China in a few months, by the way. So yeah, Hunter loses that match, and he's out of the Intercontinental Title Tournament. Sid advances, and then we go to Ahmed Johnson, who says it doesn't matter who wins the title tournament. When he comes back, he's taking it back. He's taking the title back. And then we go to another quarterfinal match. Steve Austin versus Wildman Mark Marrow. For the most part, Austin's been kicking Marrow's ass when they're in the ring together. And they had legitimate heat, Steve Austin and Mark Marrow, and supposedly it came from King of the Ring. Because I know Austin still had an issue with Marrow in like 1998, but it came from King of the Ring. Austin had to go to the hospital, get stitches in his mouth. Mark Marrow kind of busted his mouth open. And Austin, I guess, held heat. It was probably that and something else we just don't really know about, because accidents do happen. You would think, like, if he was pissed at Marrow for busting his mouth open, then what would he have thought about Owen Hart, And I know him and Owen Hart weren't exactly on speaking terms, but I don't think they had the same kind of heat that Marrow and Austin had with each other. But Austin loses this one. Austin, they're wrestling back and forth, and Marrow got dumped out of the ring, and on his way back in, with a shoulder butt, Austin grabbed the referee and pulled the referee in front of him to take the blow. So the referee disqualified Steve Austin. So after the bell, Austin does hit a Stone Cold Stunner, so he leaves looking strong. And they just kind of get into it until the refs and agents run in to break up the fight. So next we get Mark Henry meeting Jerry Lawler in the ring for an interview. Lawler makes a bunch of Jake Roberts jokes, which is kind of fucked. I don't even think Roberts is with the company at this point anymore. And like Lawler just, what did Lawler say with Ahmed Johnson? Ahmed Johnson, he said he had to get a kidney transplant, but the problem was they gave him Jake Roberts' kidney. Jesus, dude.
Yeah, there's a point where you kind of cross that line.
Yeah, like it's not very funny anymore, but I don't know. It is what it is. Lawler wants to wrestle Mark Henry, but Mark Henry says he's not ready to wrestle, but he also doesn't like Jerry Lawler. There will be a day when they meet, and Henry promises to give the king a gold medal butt kicking. And, Henry's just coming back from the Olympics as well, where he won a gold medal, I believe. So,
was that the Olympics that he did that time? Because I remember he did the strongman competition.
Yeah, I think it was he came back from the Olympics here. Let me look it up here, but I know it was the same Olympics where Kurt Angle won a gold medal and broke his freaking neck.
Yeah, because I do remember when they
broke his freaking neck.
Yeah, because I do know when they brought him in, that was the reason that he had the moniker World's Strongest Man, because he actually won the competition.
Yeah.
1 year. I forget if he won it 1 or 2 years. But I know he won it at least once.
He won 3 weightlifting medals at the 95 Pan American Games. Let me check here. I know Lawler made a Olympics bombing joke too, because the 96 Olympics were he He made a really out of line like bombing joke, like "Holy shit, Lawler!"
But it proves that you could do that stuff back then where you can't today.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was funny, but
yeah.
So maybe he didn't win the medal. Looks like he came in number 14 in the super heavyweight weightlifting competition. So, but I'm just kind of looking this up on the fly too. But hey, still he competed in the Olympics. So that's saying something.
Mm-hmm.
So good on Mark Henry. Him and Lawler, they're building up a Mark Henry Lawler match, and I don't care about Jerry Lawler wrestling. I don't. Like at this point in his career, I don't.
I like it because it's a squash match, and you know it's going to be with the young and the old veteran that's going to get his butt kicked, and it's Jerry Lawler going to get his butt kicked. So
yeah, it's just I guess they were short talent at the time too, but I don't know. So next up, I'm going to ask the chat who thinks is going to win this one. We get Mankind with Paul Bearer hot off his winning streak, defeating the Undertaker at SummerSlam after kicking Taker's ass for quite a few months, and now he's headed straight to a WWF Championship match against Shawn Michaels at In Your House Mind Games. That Mankind takes on Alex Porto.
Oh, hey Tony. Mark won it twice, the World's Strongest Man competition. The second time was in '96.
It's fucking awesome, dude. I love Mark Henry. They gave him that mean streak. Like, God, why'd that have to happen at the end of his career? They should have. If he was doing that shit right now, by the time fucking 1998 hit and they were all out of opponents for Austin, that would have been killer. Just a mean Mark Henry versus Steve Austin. Like, the matches wouldn't be 5-star classics, but that would have been an interesting storyline, like Mr. McMahon's Enforcer type shit. Yeah. So, yeah, Mankind versus Alex Porto. What do you say, super fan?
Yeah, let's hope for the underdog.
Yeah. Like, because we could very well see Shawn Michaels versus Alex Porto with the next pay-per-view. You know,
expectations inverted. But they're just feeding the machine at this point, or the monster. Yeah. But I do love this Mankind. This is the Mankind that I remember in this.
Yeah,
that HBK match. It sounds like Pierre Ducey versus Jen Psaki in today's terms.
He had the stupid son of a bitch.
Well, if you really want to scare Shawn Michaels, just put another Marine in the ring with him.
Yeah,
I would.
There was an army of them.
I would say, based on his record, actually, what a lot of people don't know about Alex Porto is he was huge in Latvia. In the Latvian Wrestling Federation, he actually held the LFW title 9 times. So he shouldn't really have been slept on coming into this match with Mankind. But what my sources told me was he had some bad shellfish on the flight in from Latvia the night before Raw. So he was under the weather, which caused his poor performance against Mankind. Back to you, Tony.
He ate a mandible claw in 2 minutes. Mankind laid him out.
That's just bad booking.
He said, "Eat this fucking shellfish."
That's bad booking. Porto's a threat. Him and Michaels could have had like one of those WrestleMania moments, but no, we got stuck with Mankind. That's great.
Because Shawn was just scared of him.
We need WrestleMania moments.
That's just fucking great. Fucking Mankind. You know what?
So, wait, Glenn just said Kurt Angle versus
Bret Hart should have happened.
Bret Hart. Had they never fought?
No. Like Bret was in WCW by the time Kurt went up to the main roster.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and you know who else Kurt Angle didn't fight? Was Alex fucking Porto.
Yes.
Do you remember one of the earliest feuds that they put Angle in? They put him in that feud with Taz.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I do remember that.
Yeah, which is hilarious because Taz is a pussy in real life.
Oh yeah.
And Angle, and they had, Angle had to wear Taz, like Paul Heyman said at one point, though, Taz believed his own hype, but Angle could toss anybody if he wanted to.
Oh yeah.
Angle
Taz was like what, 5'2", right?
Yeah.
Like an
Actually,
itty-bitty
I met him in person. Believe it or not,
He's like 5'8".
Yeah, he's like 5'7".
Yeah, he's
about
like
5'7".
5'7",
He is a
5'8".
wide son of a bitch, though.
Yeah,
I met him.
He was like 230.
I met him at the height of his career. He was white. He looked a lot bigger than 230, man. I was going about 225, 230 at the time, and he was like wide as shit. I mean, of course he's stumpy, but still.
That's a lot of weight at 5'7".
Oh yeah, it is.
Jeez.
Yeah. So, okay. Starrcade this year in December is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, Roddy Piper challenging Hollywood Hulk Hogan for the WCW World Heavyweight title. But we go to an event in Toronto over the weekend where Psycho Sid lost a game of tug of war to an elephant because he had half the brain of the elephant. And Roddy Piper showed up there. So first time we've seen Piper in a while. He had that match with Goldust at WrestleMania that went all over Hollywood, all over LA. They even played on the O.J. Simpson high-speed chase.
Yep.
But yeah, haven't seen him much since then. But he showed up at this WWF live event. Probably one of the last, and that's why I wanted to bring it up. Probably one of the last times we're going to see Piper in the WWF until WCW folds. So I know he shows back up, but
Legends
pretty
House
sure
stuff.
His
pretty
appearances
sure.
were just like one or two here or there.
Yeah. So Bob Backlund's in the ring again. He's running for president. He hates Shawn Michaels, and he introduces the returning Iron Sheik as the trainer of Bob Backlund's new associate who will be debuting soon. Backlund doesn't like the state of wrestling right now and thinks it was a better time in 1978.
He's like writes the censor before writes the censor.
Yeah.
I hated Bob Backlund from the time I saw him lose the belt to the Iron Sheik when I was like 3. I will never forget that. I cannot. I never liked
George H.W. of wrestling.
Yeah, dude, he's fucking annoying.
Yeah. So then we get our main event again. It's Championship Friday. We get WWF champion Shawn Michaels with Etep's homie Jose Lothario.
Fuck Jose Lothario. Fuck that puto.
Versus Goldust with Marlena. Now, if you guys remember, they had a couple battle royals. They had the first battle royal, and Ahmed Johnson won it and should have been facing Shawn Michaels for the title tonight, but he injured his kidney.
He broke his freaking kidney.
Yeah, he broke my freaking kidney. Farouk did. His gay little helmet. So, Goldust ends up
looking like a Project Power Ranger.
Yeah, I know, right?
Goldust, they hold another battle royal, and Goldust wins that, which sucks because Austin was getting a lot of love. Also, in case anyone's interested, Shawn Michaels' Playgirl is coming out this month, and they keep advertising that on Raw for some reason.
My question with Farouk is, how is the helmet that he uses legal? Like, because he headbutts people with that. How is that legal?
Yeah.
It's not. He just,
Is anybody going to say anything to Ron Simmons?
He sued WCW to become champion and claimed they were racist. So Vince is like, just use the helmet. I'm not going to.
Did he really sue them?
Yeah, that's how he became the first world champion over
there. I knew he became world champion, but I never knew he sued them.
He sued them. He was saying they were racist because they've never had a black champ, and maybe that's the case. I don't know, but
wow,
he filed a lawsuit, so they made him champ. So
wow, so he was BLM before BLM was BLM.
Yeah.
Just strong arming motherfuckers through stupid tactics.
Not everyone has Jose Lothario. So
all I got to say about that is, damn.
Considering
I needs a little Jose.
Hey, he needed a payday. He wanted it. So.
Yeah. So the better wrestler out of Dusty Rhodes Kids faces Shawn Michaels for the title tonight, but Goldust never did win the WWF Championship, so I think we all know who won this match. But Shawn didn't win with Sweet Chin Music. He won with a moonsault press, which is the same move he beat Vader with at SummerSlam. So he's been using that a lot lately. Obviously, he's going to go back to a super kick, but Mankind and Paul Bearer run down to join Goldust, and they try to beat down the champ, but Shawn's able to duck out of the ring before they can. Now this Monday, they'll be back to their normally scheduled time. The Undertaker, who we haven't really seen since SummerSlam, will take on the undefeated Salvatore Sincere. And we'll also have the final quarterfinal match for the IC title tournament. It's going to be Farouk versus Savio Vega. So that's Championship Friday, and we're well on the way to the In Your House Mind Games. So, yeah. That happened September 22nd, but right now we're moving over to the week of September 9th, 1996. First time Raw and Nitro have been opposed to each other in a couple weeks now. Raw pulls a 2.4 rating compared to the winner Nitro, who pulled a 3.7. So kind of annihilated Raw again here. And it gets worse. I mean, it gets worse from here. Raw starts pulling some like 1.8s compared to Nitro's 3 and 4s. So,
jeez.
Yeah.
I actually have a funny story about Pat Tanaka real quick. He was part of a tag team on the Indies at the end of his career, like back in 2000 and I want to say 10 or 11, and he might have worked a little bit after that, but I just remember he was they were called Bad Company, and a couple friends of mine, one guy I trained with named Sean and his tag partner Dave, really good friends of mine, they worked as a tag team called Bad Company. The problem was Pat Tanaka and his partner were working just south, like Southern Ohio, Kentucky, that area, the Midwest, and he got pissed, and he got in touch with them and said, "Hey, can you stop using that name?" And honestly, Sean and Dave did, and they rebranded themselves the Evans Boys. But I would have told him, who's going to be in the business longer, me or you at this point?
Or his mullet.
Right? But seriously, I would have. I'd have said, who's going to be in the business longer, me or you? I think we can both use it. And if not, we can set up a program, and we can get booked somewhere, and we can actually make money off this deal. And then loser leaves town, loser loses their name kind of deal. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Loser forfeits their name. You could have a name on a pole match, as it were. So Pat Tanaka, kind of a fucking douchebag, in my opinion.
I don't know. Every time I hear Tanaka, though, I don't even think of him. I always think back to Professor Toru Tanaka.
Oh.
That used to partner up with Mr. Fuji.
Okay, I was thinking Masato Tanaka. They used to work those badass matches with Mike Awesome.
Yeah, I remember Pat, but I never really gave too much of a shit. He had the red pants, right, and then the fucking mullet.
Yeah,
he never let go of that mullet.
him and that, no, you're thinking of Tatanka.
Tatanka, that was the American Indian gimmick.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
but
yeah,
Pat Tanaka looks like him though, and they have the same fucking mullet. So to be fair, you're not too far off base, bro.
Tanaka, Tentaka, it's all the fucking same.
Is he? Vinny? Are you
Trail of Tears, whatever.
No, I was going to say, Vinny, are you thinking of Michinoku?
Taka Michinoku?
With the red tight on one side, black on the other side.
Are you thinking of S.A. Rios?
No, this is definitely an Asian guy.
Let me look up this motherfucker.
Oh, with Lita. Yes.
So, Jesus. So
Pat
that's what
Tanaka.
Ezra Miller got arrested
Asian.
for last night. He threw a chair at a woman's head and left a nice gash.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
The gash.
That stupid wrong kind of gash.
See, didn't he learn anything from Will Smith? You have to go up and slap him like a bitch.
How many women has he attacked so far? Like, what the fuck, guys? Like, what's...
Obviously, he's racist against women. Somebody
like,
cancel
what
him.
the fuck? Yeah. It's like women, apparently, they can just have their orientate or their gender taken from them. They can just be shot dead on a movie set. You can just slap them around and throw fucking chairs at them, and it's all good. But if Chris Rock gets slapped in the face, ooh, new shit.
Then there's a real trail of tears.
Yeah,
can't do that.
The real trail of tears, the Chris Rock story.
Well, I mean, he did have that show called Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah,
it's true.
So Monday
I
Nitro.
always hated that guy, to be honest.
Monday Nitro from September 9th, 1996, around the time Chris Rock was guest starring on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So, yeah, it comes to us from Columbus, Georgia. We're in Horsemen country, the Civic Center. Same champions from last week. Nothing really changed. Hollywood Hogan down to Rey Mysterio and everyone in between. And speaking of Pat Tanaka.
Yep. That's what led me off on that tangent. I'm sorry, Tony.
Our first match is Super Callow versus Pat Tanaka. Callow's got to look strong for his pay-per-view match. He's going to be wrestling against Rey Mysterio for the Cruiserweight title. So he beats the shit out of Pat Tanaka and just fucking murders him in the ring for the 1, 2, 3.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, did you mention that Etep? Or did I miss it? Pat Tanaka,
what?
Orient Express.
That's what team he was in, the Orient fucking Express.
Yeah, because Mr. Fuji managed them.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I knew the name sounded familiar, and I couldn't place it.
I said I was wrong. I was right.
Can someone tell Mr. Fuji that the word Orient offends white girls, young white girls?
The season of the white girl? I didn't know it was pumpkin spice latte time.
No.
Now you know. And knowing is half the battle. Come on, Tommy, you knew this one.
G.I. Joe.
The other half is extreme violence.
Cobra!
That's right. Everybody. Pulling Ezra Miller. You have to throw chairs at women.
Yeah, I think he carries it better than Cobra.
So, yeah, speaking of pussy slayers, Gene Okerlund.
Dude,
Hell yeah.
yes.
He gets a word
Gene
with
gets
Rick
more.
Steiner.
He gets more ass in a toilet seat.
Yeah.
That guy was hitting on everyone. He's probably in his deathbed going like, hey.
Woman molests him during every fucking interview segment.
During that fateful weekend when Chris Benoit snapped, woman was thinking, I wish I could see Gene one more time.
Right? Look. She would gaze longingly into his eyes as she gently caressed his hand while he asked Ric Flair what he was gonna do to Lex Luger at the next Nitro.
Yeah.
You know, and they'd be like, "Hey, stop that!" And down south, his Viagra's kicking in, and he's like, "I'm getting a Woody in my khakis."
Maybe it was Gene that secretly offed Benoit.
Oh,
She rejected his marriage proposal, so he
Yeah.
killed their whole family.
Yeah.
He did Tutti Frutti all over him.
Mark Merrow helped him.
He's like, if you think my right arm's got elephantitis, you should see my cock.
Oh, goddamn.
And now we'll be right back after these murders. So, yeah, Scott Steiner's injured, and they don't want to mention that for some reason. So Gene Okerlund gets a word with Rick Steiner. He's facing Lex Luger tonight because Well, Steiner thinks he could have beat him last week. But Nick Patrick called the match. Steiner acts completely fucking insane in this. I think he's trying a new gimmick now that he's a singles wrestler, but he acts fucking completely like he's the 46th president of the United States. Nuts, like fucking real incoherent here.
Hey, who says that was acting?
That's what I was saying. And it was very easy to defeat him. You just put a little bit of coke on the edge of the mat, and then just hit him with a chair. He's done.
Yeah. So after months and months and months, guess what happened, Vinny?
What happened?
Glacier finally debuted.
Oh shit!
No, not on Nitro. Not
on Nitro.
Not on Nitro.
Dark match.
He premiered on WCW Pro, which is the C show.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep.
After fucking 6 months of fucking hype, they put him on Shotgun Saturday Night. Like, good job.
And Big Bubba later calls his ass out.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I think even at that point he was over promoted for that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whose fucking idea was that to like, whose genius fucking idea after all that buildup was it to be like, hey, so Ray, what we're going to do is we've been building you up big, right, Ray? So are you with me, Ray? You ready for your big push? All right. So he's like, yeah, man, I'm ready for Monday night. They're like, no.
Hogan
like, pay-per-view, I'm debuting.
That's not going to work for me, brother.
Yeah, he's like, I'm debuting on pay-per-view. And they're like, no, Ray, what we're going to do with you is, now think big here, Ray. Think big, think worldwide. What we're going to do is we're going to debut you on WCW Saturday night. And he's like, motherfucker, what? Like, you've been building me for 2 months. All I've been dressed like Sub-Zero out in this bitch. And now I'm going to Saturday night first at the Atlanta fucking Center Stage Theater in Atlanta, Georgia. Really?
Well, with that gimmick, they should have.
This was pro. This was syndicated. This was like Sundays at midnight after the fucking Brady Bunch reruns. Like, this is WCW Pro.
Well,
Like,
with that horrible gimmick, they should have debuted him in the concession stands, handing out ice cream. That's probably would have been better with that character, quite honestly.
It did wonders for CM Punk's comeback.
Yeah, right.
Handing out ice cream.
Free ice cream.
They should have made CM Punk Glacier.
So, like, even Saturday night would have been fucking...
I know, right?
More excusable. They debuted this guy on their syndicated show that came on your local listings. Like, what the fuck? After months, like, talk about burning through Ted Turner's fucking cash. Like, so
I always figured it'd be Halloween Havoc would have been the best place for him to debut.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
something. So,
how did we know this wasn't Ted Turner's idea?
Right. Hanoi Jane wants him on WCW Pro.
He was colonizing the moon, wasn't he?
I can hear it now. I hear
I
that.
did.
I hear this game Mortal Kombat's really good. Maybe we should have a character on a wrestling show. Oh, I'm sorry, our wrestling show.
All right, billionaire Ted.
Billionaire Ted. So, yeah, and that's all we get. They just show us some highlights on Nitro of his entrance and the fucking snow falling and the light show, and we don't get to see any like actual action. They just wanted, because it's not enough that they debuted him on Pro, but you need to know about it, motherfucker. We're not hiding this, you know. So, next we get the Nasty Boys versus the Amazing French Canadians, because the Amazing French Canadians are good enough for Nitro, but not Glacier.
Yeah.
Right?
Jacques Cousteau.
Yeah.
The Rougeau brothers.
Pierre Owlette.
Yeah. Jacques
The one that stole
Rougeau.
Brett's coat, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
His glasses. He'd steal Brett's glasses. It's like, bitch, you only got one eye. What the hell you need those for?
Yeah. So this is the Nasty Boys versus the Amazing fucking French Canadians. Fucking Knobs hits Oulette with the flagpole. Sags covers him 1, 2, 3. Gene Okerlund asks the Nasty Boys the fuck again about the NWO.
Yep.
And they're like, dude, we don't know. You've been asking me this since fucking August. We just want the title belts. Like, we want the tag champion. You've been asking me since fucking August. What do you think about the NWO? Like, what else can I say about it at this point? This whole time I've said, Hogan's my friend, but he's going to do what he's going to do, and we're going to do what's best for the Nasty Boys.
Yep.
Like, what else do you want to fucking know? So, same question every fucking week, man. Same question. So, next we get Scott Norton versus Sergeant Craig Pittman with Teddy Long. And it's supposed to be a submission match. 3-minute long submission match. This ought to be legendary. Basically, Scott Norton puts Pittman in a some kind of arm bar.
We need to call Chris Jericho. He can go through the list for us.
Was it a Fujiwara?
Yeah, a Fujiwara arm bar, and Pittman refuses to tap out, but Ice Train runs out and throws in the towel. Then Norton and Train go nose to nose, but they don't actually lock up, so we're going to get more of that. They've now been feuding longer than they were together.
They were together for what, 2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah.
I think it was about a month plus, because they did have a couple run-ins with the Steiners a couple different times.
Yeah,
they jobbed to the Steiners their first fucking match.
Yeah. About 2 months they were together. So...
the happy couple they weren't.
Yeah,
I loved them together.
They weren't bad together, but they didn't do anything with them.
They never gave him a chance.
Yeah,
I would say
you know what? I would like to thank Frankie for that, because now all I can think of is a hillbilly Sub-Zero, and I have the Mortal Kombat theme music in my head, and I keep hearing, "I love my sister." That's all I keep hearing now.
Dude, he was totally a hillbilly Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some Joe Dirt. She's my sister. She's my sister.
That's
my sister.
dirty.
Joe, don't try to church it up, son. We know your name's Joe Dirt.
Oh, shit.
So Okerlund is in the back with Flair, Arn Anderson, and Lex Luger for an interview. They don't know where Sting is. Where's Sting? Lex sticks up for his buddy, but Flair and Arn are questioning Sting's reliability. Mongo and Benoit showed up to kind of rub it in Luger's face too. They couldn't trust these guys. Luger says not to worry because Sting will be there at Fall Brawl. We get a quick recap of the whole DDP Guerrero family feud. We get Juventud Guerrero versus Joe Gomez.
Yeah, Joe Gomez, baby. He's almost as good as Alex Porto.
So
Joe Gomez?
Yeah,
Joe Gomez and Alex Porto won the Transcontinental Latvian Tag Team TV titles on 6 separate occasions between 1995 and 2001.
Oh, so they were ahead of the curve with the progressivism?
They were.
Titles?
They were the Brandon titles before Brandon knew Brandon was Brandon.
Yeah. So they got to make Hoovy look strong going into Fall Brawl because he's going to fight against Conan, who recently became a Cholo and joined the Dungeon of Doom. So
I love how they announced that on air too, man, because it's like, the Cholo isn't a good word.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the white people, like the white announcers, like, we don't think we can say this.
Oh, back then they were just reading it right off. And he's a Cholo.
Well, fucking, what did Mongo made some comment about a fucking flying burrito, kind of like Jesse Ventura did back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Lawler
He called Tito's
Savio Vega burrito breath. Over and over again. Like, shit.
What's up, Chico?
Oh, God. Lawler was, like, just racist and a fucking grapist. He didn't care. Lawler was just like...
And boy, did he love the
Hall
youngins.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did. Which is ironic, because now he looks like a fucking 80-year-old baby.
He does.
He looks
terrifying.
so weird now.
I think it's every time he had his heart attack, the devil's like, no, I don't want you here yet.
Not yet, Jerry. Not yet.
Not yet.
Wait,
I
Glinzer
didn't build a
asked.
cage small enough for you.
This is an interesting question, Tony. Steiner brothers or British
Steiners.
Bulldogs?
Steiner.
I no
Steiners.
hesitation. I go with the Steiners.
Yep, Steiners.
Yep.
Love the Bulldogs. Don't get me wrong. Another great tag team, but yeah, Steiners all the way.
The Steiners are better.
Ventura always called Tito Santana Chico. He never said Tito once.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Tony,
So-
you and I were talking about that not too long ago. That I think that's what's missing in today's wrestling. It's the great announcers that we don't have.
Yep. They're all getting screamed at by Vince through a fucking headset. Like there's no one. And even if there weren't, it's like you can't be funny anymore. You're going to get canceled, which is stupid because the people canceling you are morons who know nothing about anything, but we play their game for some reason.
Well, that and the fact that Vince bans specific words on the show anyway is stupid.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, Hoovy goes over Joe Gomez in a little over 2 minutes. He wins with a springboard corkscrew splash, like in 2 minutes and 12 seconds. It was a real quick match to make Hoovy look good. Okerlund has Nick Patrick with him again, so Patrick can explain why he DQ'd Lex Luger last week. Same old shit. He's just doing his job. He's just trying to be a good referee.
You're gonna follow the law when you're in the ring with me.
Yeah, and Nick Patrick threatens to take Mean Gene to court if he doesn't shut his dirty mouth.
That'll teach him.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So, in the parking lot, the NWO are placing flyers all over everybody's car, and it's fucking pouring rain out. And that's going to play into something later and why nobody likes WCW. Why they like the NWO, not WCW. So they're handing out fucking flyers. It shows Ted DiBiase with an umbrella talking to somebody in the car. But the Giant, the Outsiders, Hogan, they're all out passing flyers. So who's in the NWO limo? Who's the sixth member? We're going to find out. And that brings us into hour 2. Bischoff, Heenan, and Mike Tenay take over commentary. And we get Rick Steiner versus Lex Luger. Basically, okay, they're having their match. Luger calls for the torture rack. Nick Patrick runs down and calls for Lex Luger to come to the parking lot. So, something concerning Sting or something, you know. So Luger starts running to the parking lot. Rick Steiner wins via count out. And yeah, we go back out to the parking lot. We see Ted DiBiase, but we can't see in the limo. But we can hear someone talking, and it sure sounds like Sting. So,
say it can't be.
Yeah. So Luger confronts DiBiase, asks him where Sting is, and Sting pops out of the limo and starts beating Luger to the ground, and the rest of the NWO come over and beat him down too. And see, this is the thing again. Okay, well, when they were at the MGM studios in Orlando, and they had that huge ambulance scene, and they were beating people down with bats, and the crowd is chanting boring because they don't have a feed to showing to the live audience. Same thing here. The commentators, now that crowd didn't chant boring, but the commentators are like, and the audience in here has no idea that this is happening. Like, why don't you set up a fucking feed? It's 1996.
Yep.
Like, I know you could do that. You want the audience to see that shit, you know? You want them to feel things.
Yep.
So, Sting just joined the NWO, and nobody in the arena fucking knows it. Just dumb. It's dumb.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they go to commercial. They play a recap of what happened last week with the NWO.
DiBiase motioning the other member, like, with his fingers about there's other members showing up this week.
Yeah. So after the break, and this is why everyone hates WCW and like the NWO, they're finally going to get their revenge. And a whole bunch of WCW guys head outside. They find one of the limos. Everyone took off in the other one. They start digging through the limo and they find cans of yellow spray paint inside. Mm-hmm. And they start spray painting the limo, except it's fucking pouring rain outside.
I remember that.
Yeah, so it's like, it's not even like, why would you? Yeah, you can't. It's the paint ain't fucking sticking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You've been better off busting the windows out of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like watching on an HD TV now, 4K, and it doesn't look like they're doing anything to the fucking limo, and it's stupid, and it was raining outside, and they should have thought of something else. Anything
Apparently
else.
Nobody improv'd at that point.
Yeah, so it just made WCW look like a bunch of morons, all the wrestlers, because it's like they were told to go do this, and it's like, but you're supposed to think it's of their own like accord, so they just look stupid.
Hey man, painting in the rain, baby.
They should have like wiped areas off to like get it somewhat dry and then spray painted.
Yeah,
like at least try to get it on.
Things that are good in the rain: kissing in the rain, singing in the rain, spray painting graffiti on cars in the rain. Not so much.
Yeah, it
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Hold on, we're gonna take a look at this here.
What are we looking at?
So like, it's the car is soaking wet, and I mean you can kind of see here it's not sticking.
Yeah.
Look at, and they make the black guy go out there and look like a dummy. Hey, Ice Train.
Yeah.
Hey, go out there and spray paint this in the rain. Man, this ain't gonna work. I don't care. Do it anyway. All right.
Yeah, it's and you can see how rainy it was that night. Like it's just
But they did shit like that a lot, where it looked like that spray paint was just like, you know, watered down nothing on top of it.
Yeah. So it probably was. It was probably like a little watered down, so you can like clean it off or easier because they were
coloring.
Yeah, imagine if somebody spray painted your back and you had to wrestle Monday and that happened, and then you're on like a couple days later for Saturday Night or Thunder or something. It'd still be kind of fucked up, you know? Like,
oh, for sure.
But dude, they spray painted They painted Flair's hair that one episode.
Yeah, and then it was just out.
Easy as that. Was pretty funny.
It's possible they used like the
temporary shit.
The hair like stuff. Yeah.
Shout out to Welcome to My Madhouse. Thank you for joining us, Frank and Deshahan Wiener Dog Clan. Everybody, thank you, and let's get to some comments. It could have dumped garbage on the limo or something. Exactly.
Yeah.
Broken out all the windows or like and all that shit. Just destroyed it.
Yellow spray paint. I hope they never use that on an Asian wrestler. Dun 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 dun. Is it racist?
Come here, Prince. Are you okay?
Prince. Well, they already fucked up his name. Jericho was calling him Prince Nakamaki.
Yeah. Ron Mysterio Jr. Yeah, they probably would have done that, Frankie. Like, they would have used black spray paint on the fucking black lemon. See what we did? Like, no.
Well, they can't use white on there because then that's whitewashing it.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. That's never acceptable. And it's a black limo, so you can't whitewash a black limo.
Yes.
So unacceptable.
We get a short match between Rey Mysterio and Billy Kidman, and they'll go on to have quite the rivalry. But for tonight, they're both rookies, but Rey, as far as
Kidman's from PA.
Yeah. As far as like American mainstream wrestling, they're both rookies, but Rey Mysterio, he's been wrestling for a long time, and he has he has it. You know, he has something special about him. So he's obviously getting more of a push than Kidman is right now. So this match goes for about 1:40. And then, Kidman gets leveled with the springboard somersault, and Ray gets the 1-2-3. Then we get, and this is what I don't fucking get, 1 minute for Rey Mysterio and Billy Kidman, but Public Enemy versus the Faces of Fear, 10 minutes and 45 seconds. All for Ming to grab the fucking Tongan death grip on Johnny Grunge. Like, why couldn't we get more of Kidman and Rey Mysterio?
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay. Don't get me wrong. The Faces of Fear are a kick-ass tag team. Ming and the Barbarian, they're fucking monsters. Ming is like one of the most frightening people that like exists in pro wrestling, like to this day.
Yeah,
like,
Ming's
people
awesome.
are still, dude is a badass. I liked him in Barbarian. They worked well together. They really did. I think they deserved more. But working that long of a match with the Public Enemy, you could have put them
in and out.
That should have been a squash.
Yeah, this should have been the 2-3 minute match, and then give 7 minutes to the cruiserweights.
Yeah.
My thing is, why wasn't
that was
there
my
a
point.
DQ when he put him through the table in this match?
Oh,
Because
right.
it was just a regular match, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah. So why wasn't there a DQ when they used the fucking table? The ref is like looking at him like, "Don't use the table," and then fucking they use it, and
moves.
then
he looked away. He looked away. He had something on his shoe.
Right. Yeah, that was fucking stupid. He should have been DQ'd for that. And I don't think it was Nick Patrick either. It's like, maybe it's not that he's a heel. Maybe it's just the other referees are fucking stupid.
Well, I think at this point, Tony, the real reason that they didn't have the longer matches because they really weren't completely sold on the cruiserweights just yet. Yeah, they wanted them, but I don't think that they really thought that they were a main draw. That's why they were bringing all these bigger guys in, especially rating WWF at the time.
We have the benefit of hindsight. Like back then, Rey Mysterio versus Kidman wasn't shit, It was Jack Porto versus Mike Enos for us today. Like,
Hey, Jack listen, Alex Porto, Porto, the Latvian superstar.
Jack Porto in WWE.
Well, look, Alex Jack Porto, whatever his name was, he's a superstar, and you will address him as such, or else there's nothing gonna happen. But I think you should because he's fire, dude, in Latvia. You can't fuck with him.
Yeah,
he beat Dr. Doom.
Nice.
Oh shit.
Randy Savage versus John Tenta, not in 1986, 1996. And the New World Order comes out. Okay, no, excuse me. Macho hits the elbow, then Teddy Long comes out and tells Randy Savage to come to the back. So he runs out, another count-out victory for John Tenta. And this is actually where it fucking happens. Fucking they spray paint the fucking limo with the yellow fucking spray paint. The Horsemen head over to the announced position where the NWO's been ending the show the last couple weeks. Arn takes Bobby's headset. I'm like, Rick vows he's going to take Sting's head off in the cage. How dare you turn on us? How dare you turn on WCW? And the final card is set for Fall Brawl. It's going to be Luger, Flair, and Arn, and possibly a mystery opponent versus the NWO. You've got the Giant versus Savage. The World Tag Champions, the Harlem Heat, go against the Nasty Boys. We've got Benoit versus Jericho for their first time on a WCW pay-per-view. You've got the Cruiserweight Champion Rey Mysterio versus Super Callow. You've got Conan versus Juventud, Scott Norton versus Ice Train, and DDP versus Chavo Guerrero. All this Sunday at Fall Brawl 1996. Yay. So, over on Raw, we're still in Wheeling, West Virginia, the Civic Center. Same champions, Smoking Gun Tag Champ, Shawn Michaels World Champ, vacant Intercontinental Championship. The commentators again are Kevin Kelly, Jim Ross, and Jerry Lawler. Vince ain't been on commentary since basically SummerSlam. So we get the final Intercontinental title tournament quarterfinal match. Farouk defeats Savio Vega with the Dominator. Farouk with Sunny. Sunny pumps up her latest associate, trying to make him look like the shit, but Psycho Sid comes out, who will face Farouk in the semifinals. They kind of faced off, and the referees broke them up. And next we get a clip of all the superstars sending out personal messages to Ahmed Johnson for his recovery. That was kind of lame.
How's your kidney, motherfucker?
If you're into like storylines and consistency, and yeah. So Carlos Cabrera from the Spanish announce team, he's standing in the ring, and he introduces WWF champion Shawn Michaels and manager Jose Lothario. Jim Cornette is also brought out. He's going to take on Jose Lothario at the upcoming In Your House Mind Games. Because Lothario was a pretty badass wrestler back in the day. So, yeah, they're going to wrestle. As for Mankind and Paul Bearer, Shawn just cuts a promo on Mankind, you know. He tells Mankind not to hunt what can't be killed. And then they hype the Playgirl magazine again. It's starting to get uncomfortable.
Sure, with
Hail
Vince
Nerdporeal life form.
Which I gave Jeff Hicks the centerfold of that Playgirl magazine for a birthday present a couple years back at Horror Hound.
I remember that.
Yeah, what's up, Nerdporeal? Good to see you, brother.
What's up? Well, you know that Vince and Pat Patterson, like, they were taking him in the private room back there. They're like, hey, we need more of this Playgirl stuff. It's excellent. And Pat's like, yeah.
The best part was
Nobody
he wasn't
knows.
naked. He had the belt around him. He was wearing nothing but the belt.
Yeah.
Well, we saw what happened
At
to those
Vince's
belts anyway,
request.
later on. Remember
Yeah.
old, what the hell's her name?
Well, after showing it to Pat Patterson, you know, it's like, I got to put this thing away.
Well, yeah, Paige really, I mean, well, it wasn't her that got it dirty. Someone else did for the female ones.
Big E.
Oh, was it Big E as well?
Why not?
Take that, Big E.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Take that, man. Sorry.
So next we get the Stalker, Barry Windham versus TL Hopper. Hopper loses to a suplex from Windham, 3 minutes, 29 seconds. Then we get a video package highlighting how Mr. Perfect keeps taking away Hunter Hearst Helmsley's ladies. Then we get another video package. Yay. Only an hour, Vince. Only an hour. We get another video package of the Lawler-Henry confrontation from Championship Friday. Next, we get Crush with Clarence Mason versus George Floyd. Freddie Joe Floyd.
Yes.
I can't breathe.
Yeah.
It's me, baby. Freddie Joe Floyd,
shit.
George's uncle.
A heart punch to Freddie Joe Floyd gets the win. Ouch.
That was
Little on the nose there for Freddie Joe, but hey, we'll accept it.
he's
Now-
not real.
I'm about to blow Vinny's mind. Guess what comes next?
I don't know.
Another replay package highlighting Bob Backlund and the Iron Sheik, and they'll be training Backlund's latest acquisition.
Oh,
Oh,
motherfucker.
Jesus.
So that's like 3 in the past fucking 15 minutes. Then we get our main event. The Undertaker, who's the Undertaker's back on TV from SummerSlam, and Salvador, he came out in a coffin and sat up in front of Mankind and Paul Bearer, but he hasn't been like wrestling or anything. So he finally He comes out to wrestle Salvador Sincere. Salvatore has been undefeated since debuting in July. So they actually have a pretty good match, but eventually Salvatore Sincere does eat the tombstone at about 8 minutes. Taker pins him, gets the win. They thought Salvatore Sincere was going to be a star at the time. So after Taker got the win, Salvatore hits Taker with a power slam to kind of get some heat back. And that's how Raw ends, The next two Intercontinental Tournament semi-final matches are going to take place next week. And we're also getting the debut of the Sultan. So that must be Bob Backlund's fucking new project. So at least that was worth it. Yeah.
Billy.
Billy Backlund. Drink your juice.
Billy Backlund. It was Bob's nephew, Billy.
Billy Bob.
Little Billy.
Billy Bob Backlund.
I was stupid
Hey,
as
hail
mom,
Daisy
too.
Divine.
Oh shit! What's up, girl?
What's up, girl? Hey, baby.
Hey.
Don't make me go Pat Patterson.
Goddamn.
Oh no.
So
Pat Patterson.
Glenzer, we all agree, but Vince's booking decisions weren't exactly on point back then.
Nope.
So,
And we don't know if it was Vince or Pat, but let's face it, either way they sucked.
Yep.
the Sultan was insulting, yes.
Nice dad joke. I like it. We'll accept it.
Good times.
We'll accept it.
Yeah, and you're right. The new Faces of Fear did host this year's Oscars, except for the old Faces of Fear were a lot more relevant in their industry than the new ones are. So,
right.
There's that. So, yeah, we go into Fall Brawl 96. I'm just going to blow through these matches real quick so we can get to the end and talk about that. Yeah, we get DDP versus Chavo. And Page nails. Okay, Page has been losing to him. He lost to Eddie Guerrero on the Clash of Champions, and then he diamond cut Guerrero and beat his ass, and diamond cut him another 2 or 3 times. So Chavo Guerrero wanted revenge, and DDP and Chavo wrestled on Nitro. Chavo ended up getting the win with the surprise roll-up, and DDP diamond cutted him and kicked his ass after the match. So now this is the big pay-per-view match. DDP would end up he'd end up countering a spinning power bomb from Chavo and gives him the diamond cutter. He pins Chavo, and he looks to win his feud with the Guerrero family. So DDP's slowly moving up the card. We get a submission match. Ice Train versus Scott Norton. Ice Train wins this one. He puts Scott Norton in a full Nelson. Scott Norton taps, and this was a short match, like 7 minutes. For a submission match, that's short.
Yeah.
So then next we get Conan versus Juventud Guerrera. Pretty good match, but Hoovy ends up getting a power drop from the second or third rope. A little sloppy, but decent match. I think this was Hoovy's debut on pay-per-view.
A Cholo Conan. It's gonna be sloppy, dude.
Yeah. He is sloppy compared to a lot of the luchas. He really is.
Hoovy? Oh yeah.
No,
that's
Conan.
He was.
Hoovy
Conan. Yeah. Conan was definitely sloppy.
Yeah. So, Benoit versus Jericho. Benoit wins that with a back suplex, but a good match. They went almost 15 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So next we have the Cruiserweight Championship on the line. Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Super Callo. A lot of reverses, a lot of cool shit in this match, but he basically hits a Dragon Rana for a pin on Super Callow. It's kind of weird seeing Rey Mysterio win with anything but a 619 these days. Like, I've seen it so much.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
I'm dying, Tony, for when they take his mask off. Spoilers on Nitro.
Jesus, yeah.
Oh my God.
I remember that. And then when he came to WWF, he had the mask back, and I'm like, I wonder why. And then, I mean, he's pretty much wrestled his entire career, if I'm right, in the Fed with a mask.
Yeah, it's way better with the mask on, in my opinion. So after the match, Ray yells into the camera that he dares Dean Malenko to come and take the Cruiserweight title from him. So next, the Tag Team Championships are on the line. Harlem Heat with Sister Sherry and Colonel Parker versus the Nasty Boys. The Nasties hit a pump handle splash combo, but Colonel Parker distracts the ref and allows Sherry to break a cane over Knob's head. Booker covers for the victory. And yeah, it looks like Colonel Parker is, finally stopped messing things up in their matches.
Well, that cane broke too.
Yeah, it did. So Mike Tenay interviews Randy Savage, and he called it ironic that he was the most fined and suspended man in WCW a few months ago, and now he's their savior. Savage comes out. He agrees about the irony and calls himself the evil necessity of WCW, and he's going to step up to the plate and hit a grand slam against the Giant. Then Savage will take on Hogan at Halloween Havoc and threatens to rip the black heart out of Hogan's chest. Tenay warns him not to overlook the Giant, but Savage says he's right, and Randy vows to cut the Giant in half, and then he'll only be 40 feet tall. 44 feet tall, yes. So the Giant versus Macho Man Randy Savage. This was a pretty fun match, which ends with Giant on his back on the floor. Randy is able to get up to the top rope. He drops the elbow on Giant, and you really think he's going to win here, but then the Outsiders come out. Nick Patrick is refereeing. Did I mention that? So the Outsiders lure Savage into the fucking aisle. And I mean, they're in the aisle, not even hiding it, just kicking the shit out of him while Nick Patrick is trying to get his watch to work. He's just fucking with his watch. I mean, they beat the shit out of Savage, then bring him to the ring, roll him in. Giant pins him. 1, 2, 3, and a little under 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 47 seconds. So the Giant goes over on Randy Savage.
A very nice assist.
Yeah. It was a good match up until when they interfered. Like, it was exciting. You think Macho Man's about to win, and that doesn't happen. So we get a commercial for Halloween Havoc. It's brought to you by Slim Jim. So, of course, Savage is the front man in the commercial. He's also getting the title shot. But then we go to the back with the 4 Horsemen. Mike Tenay's interviewing them. Sting turned his back last Monday. So Arn, Luger, and Flair saying they'll go out there on their own, and then Sting shows up, and he's like, guys, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I wasn't there. And he said he'll be there tonight for them. And, yeah, they don't believe him. They said, don't bother showing up. I don't understand why he didn't call Lex and tell him that night, but he waited for the pay-per-view.
That son of a bitch.
Yeah, I know.
During those Nitros, the 4 Horsemen cut promos saying about how, the one constant that has always been in WCW has been Sting, and that they were kind of surprised to see that he would turn their backs on them.
Yeah. He's always been the baby face,
Mm-hmm.
So they make poor Michael Buffer read through all their fucked up match or rules and shit for the War Games match. And it just kind of makes... Now, I missed War Games matches. It's interesting. It's kind of exciting. It's got the feel to the Royal Rumble with it, as far as you don't know who's coming out on each team. It's almost like a Royal Rumble Elimination Chamber hybrid.
Okay.
You know, you bring 2 members from each team out, and then it alternates after that. After 3 minutes, one person from this team will come out. After another 3 minutes, one person from this team will come out. So you can be at a disadvantage, like 2 NWO against 1 Horseman, which kind of happens. So it starts with Hall and Anderson. They're going back and forth. And then Nash enters next. And then I believe Lex Luger enters after that. And then Hogan, then Ric Flair. And then Sting comes out as the 4th man on the NWO side. So we're thinking that's it. And then the timer goes off again at the 1 minute, mark. When it would have, had they had a 4th guy for WCW. And it counts down, and Sting comes out for the good guys for WCW. So everyone on, the Horsemen, Luger, they're like, what the fuck? Sting comes in there, and this actually looks like the real Sting. You realize this other guy's an imposter. And Sting kicks the NWO's ass basically single-handedly. He has them all in one. You've got 2 rings for War Games. Mm-hmm. He's got the whole NWO in one ring. They're all laid up on the different turnbuckles, the 4 turnbuckles. He Stinger splashes all of them. He's kicking their ass. Luger and the Horsemen are in the second ring, just like staring in disbelief. And he takes the NWO out by himself. And then he goes over to Luger and is like, is this enough proof for you? And he gets out of the cage and walks away. So the good guys are now left with the NWO, and the NWO overwhelm them again. And imposter Sting puts Luger into the Scorpion Deathlock. Meanwhile, Hogan puts Luger into a headlock, and they're just like bending the upper half of his body back with the lower half of his body. And then Bobby Heenan had the line of the night. He said if they keep this up, Luger's going to lose the use of his legs. Like, if you only knew, Bobby. If you only knew. So, yeah, they basically fucking fold Lex Luger in half. Lex has no choice but to submit. And then this is where the good part comes. Randy Savage, they start beating the shit out of the good guys again and spray painting them. So Randy Savage runs out to make the save. And they beat Savage down, except this time, after months of running around with Ric Flair and spending his money, fucking Elizabeth sees Savage getting his ass handed to him, like, really badly, and she runs in and, like, covers his body with her own, and the NWO starts spray painting on Miss Elizabeth, and Hogan's spitting on her, and they're cornering her in the turnbuckle and scaring her and making her cry. Savage starts to get up, and they kick his ass again. He's spray painted all over. Elizabeth is spray painted all over. Though they didn't physically attack Elizabeth, but she was real worried about Macho Man is the storyline they're playing up. And then they end up kicking the commentators off the team, which our commentators were Dusty Rhodes, Heenan, and Shivani. So they kicked them off and fucking talked into the camera, and they looked just real dominant, and that's how the pay-per-view ended.
I'll tell you what, how sexist is it that they didn't beat the shit out of Elizabeth? Where was the equity back then?
Right. That's not very good of them. That's not very progressive.
If Marvel owned WCW, the NWO would have fallen that night to Elizabeth.
Right? She would have Jane Fostered them all.
Yeah.
Shit.
So yeah, that was the NWO has basically been really dominant leading up to this pay-per-view and then at this pay-per-view. The probably the most vulnerable they looked is when Sting showed up, but he's gone now. Sting took off, and I don't know if we're gonna see Sting again, this variation of Sting.
Now here's a question. I don't know if you guys remember. Is this at the point where they were actually thinking about breaking WCW in half? Because I know at one point that they were talking about breaking it off into almost like two factions, kind of like what WWF did with Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah,
because I heard at one time they went to break NWO as its own thing, and then WCW its own thing, and then have them war between each other.
Yeah, I think so.
They were.
Yeah, but it obviously didn't pan out how they wanted it to. I'm trying to remember if this is where Sting walks off and now we're not going to see him again until he's the Crow. I think it is.
Maybe.
I think it is because we've only got they play the 97 Starrcade up for like a year, and we're closing in on 96 Starrcade. So I'm pretty sure this is where he walks off, and then we're not going to see him again until he's the Crow soon. I think that's what did it, was his friends not trusting him, and yeah. So,
when did they start showing the little mini vignettes of him in the makeup, and they didn't really know who it was at first?
Let's take a look here.
Because I'm pretty sure they started showing the vignettes like way before he was actually, actually brought out.
It says it was in 1996, and we're like, again, yeah. In 1996, he got the gimmick change. This was
that's when he comes back.
Yeah, it's the first time he adopted the famous Crow gimmick.
Wait, when did he start that in 96?
I think
October 21st is what it's showing for what I'm asking.
Yeah, it's the beginning of it. He's his friends not trusting him turned him emo. So he walks off. We won't see him for like a month, and then he'll show back up and be the Crow and hanging out in the rafters.
Yeah, that's when he comes back to fight the vampire kids. I remember that.
Hey.
Yeah. So, God, man, I can't wait for that. We're about to start the year-long build-up towards that.
Yep.
Good times. I can't believe they fuck up Starrcade 97. I loved Crow Sting. Like, he was...
Yep.
Him
that was
and
a great
Steve
gimmick.
Austin were my favorites. Yeah. Like, that was such a good gimmick. And then Hogan had to pull his fucking creative control. Like, ugh.
Yep.
Good old Hogan.
And then you ask him these days, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I thought we could go out there and have a good match, brother. I don't really remember what happened. Like, yeah, shut up.
Brother. It doesn't work for me.
I'm senile, brother.
Yeah, it's like, why don't you have me beat him, and then we'll have the wrestler who just got screwed out of his title come out and restart the match for no reason at all, and then he can beat me. And then he can forfeit the title and it'll be vacant after a year of fucking build-up. That seems like the best route to go. All right, Hogan. Whatever. So bad. Yeah, he was.
Hokey
Frankie,
Hogan.
when he... My bad. What's that, Vinny?
I said Hokey Hogan.
Yeah. Hokey motherfucker. So, yeah, when Sting, and nobody knew if he was NWO or what, and, he was first starting to drop from the rafters, and then finally he used his bat against, was it Macho Man or Nash? Maybe it was just Hogan, but Yeah, fucking so good. So good. Fucking top tier WCW.
Oh yeah.
Early on, and they had the Vulture too.
Yep.
Yes.
Like I said, I feel this is, we've said it week in and week out. This was a great time to be a wrestling fan, but this is where it's kicking off. It's starting to come together.
Like, I want to, when I'm done watching the two weeks worth of episodes, I want to watch more. I want to see what happens next,
Yeah.
So, good. Definitely better than Hogan getting his fucking mustache shaved off like a year ago at this time. Now we got imposter Sting.
Right?
Well, I mean, we went from Razor Ramon losing to the 1-2-3 Kid to now, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash in the NWO. So, we're talking in a 6-month time frame, but a year in TV watch time. So, yeah. Hulkamania.
I've been eating Hulkaroos and Hulkadoos, brother.
I crush up my Hulkamania vitamins and I put it on my pasta. They're steroids.
Gotta take the vitamins.
In case you didn't know, brother. Oh, God, help me, Rhonda.
So my internet connection is starting to act funny. It's getting windy, so if I robot out or something, my bad.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm excited for 1997. It's a really, really good year for wrestling. I think it's probably 97 and 98 are the peak years for the Monday Night War. So 99 WCW starts getting a little weird. 2000, they're just off the fucking rails. Yeah. So, but 97 and 98, you get good WWF and good WCW.
Enter the Vince Russo, the brother years. Bro.
Yeah.
Can we just forget about that guy like forever? Another thing that actually all this sparked is that not only did it spark the competition, which would eventually make the WWF better, at least for a time, but it also wound up creating all these different merchandising ventures that really weren't there before. Like WCW and the WWF, the Monday Night Wars, that sparked a whole bigger merchandise availability and practicality for them to get into at this point too, because it became so popular. I mean, that's when you start seeing video games all over the places, like for NES and all these other game systems. Eventually, and the N64 with what was that? WCW Revenge
and WWF No Mercy, WrestleMania 2000.
1998 was full of Austin 316, NWO, and South Park merchandise. Like you go into fucking Walmart and all kinds of wrestling shit.
Oh, it wasn't even Walmart. It was like all these little mini shops that they had in the malls at the time. I remember there was this one in particular called what was it called? The Orient something Pearl or Oriental Pearl. And it was in one of the malls, and that's what they sold. They had this huge wall just filled with all kinds of freaking wrestling merchandise, like shit you didn't really see in most of the other stores, but it was everywhere in that damn store, right next to all the Rock Band stuff. But it actually, it was bigger than the Rock Band stuff at the time.
That's why, like, I kind of hate that Vince fucking gets stuck in second gear without any competition, because it was becoming like a cultural phenomenon. Like fucking wrestling was beating Monday Night Football. Like it was huge.
And they done fucked it up.
Yeah, because Vince bought all the competition.
Yep.
Adam, you all right? We heard you squealing.
Yeah, apparently Duncan played too hard with his mom, and she bit him back. Said, "You look here, you little son of a."
Maybe she's mad about Vince getting stuck in second gear too.
Yeah,
probably.
Maybe
in all likelihood.
Here's one other thing too: is for as much as Vince was trying to push the whole rock and wrestling connection in the '80s and everything, and he was trying to really promote wrestlers as like stars. I think it was like after this that more people were actually paying attention to these wrestlers and like, hey, They got a lot more to offer than just like the big body sitting on the screen.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when they first started bringing The Rock onto Saturday Night Live, and everyone's like surprised, like, hey, he can kind of act, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Put him in the fucking Mummy, and Big Show too. Big Show really hit it off like the first or second time he was on it. SNL.
Oh yeah, and then you had USA TV series where Hunter would be in them, at, in DX stuff, or Walker Texas Ranger had
Triple H and La Femme Nikita.
I'd rather not.
Okay, here, Triple H and Blade 3.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I was waiting for Vinny to make the throw up noise.
please don't. Please
that
don't.
movie's bad enough without Triple H in it.
Yeah, I did not see that movie at all.
Yeah, you're not missing anything.
It's not great.
I said it looked bad.
Oh, but Ryan Reynolds as a little bitch is kind of funny.
It's no Pastamania, brother.
No Pastamania.
Well, no, it was Triple H, so it would be just suck.
I got a big nose and I'm fucking Canadian.
And I'm doing the boss's daughter.
That's what kind of sucks about Batista is like I'm cheering for him at first. Like, yeah, like I was never the biggest fan of him as a wrestler, but I'm like, fuck the McMahons. If they want to treat you like shit, fucking go out and become a fucking success in Hollywood. Good for you, dude. And then he started tweeting.
Yep.
And then my question is, though, is it him tweeting or is it his handler?
I think
that's Batista, yeah.
Yeah, that's his dumbass.
Yeah, it's him. He's an idiot.
Well, you don't take that many concussions, and not everybody can turn out like you there, Etep.
Wow. That's not
I
to
don't
say
know
I'm
if you
not
can
an
blame
idiot.
all that on concussions.
Yeah, that's it's another disease. It's leftism. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he'll get more roles. He'll get more
when he
roles.
popped in his Drax for the first Guardian, like I thoroughly enjoyed that.
His Drax was good. I'll give him that. That's you know, he's got a handful of roles where he did an okay job in, or he was pretty funny in. But I'm sorry, he's making these fucking comments to get more work because that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
They became his friends, one, and then two. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to back them. They made me so much money, and I don't have to hurt my body.
Yep.
So that's what Hollywood is—a bunch of whores.
And then the whores come in.
The Rock was always protective over his body anyway. Again, he was willing to hit you 26 times in the head with the steel chair, but just as long as he didn't have to do it, you know?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm the type, I don't know. Like when I'm managing, I don't like to ask anyone to do anything that I wouldn't do or that I wouldn't have done myself. So if someone asks me to hit them in the head over and over and over again with the steel chair, I'm only going to do what I'm willing to do.
I seem to recall him taking a few hits with a chair, but I swear to God, I thought they were plastic chairs.
Yeah, but he did Mankind was straight fucking handcuffed in front of his kids.
Oh no, I remember that. I remember seeing that. That was a bloody mess, and they didn't show the aftermath where he was getting all those stitches in his head.
Yeah, and I don't blame The Rock for that. I mean, but I do think maybe, when everyone else felt like that was enough. I know you had to get over for WrestleMania, but maybe, you could have just backed up a little bit.
Well, I think even Mick Foley said in an interview he felt like he went a little overboard with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, looking back and all the brain damage I got, I should have told him to ease up.
Yeah. And it's one thing if Terry Funk was doing it, but it's The Rock who's not willing to take real risks with his body.
That's what Tommy was saying. He goes, I remember, Rock took a couple of hits with chairs, but they looked like they were plastic chairs. They didn't look like they were metal ones.
Or if they were metal, they were the ones that had the nice rubber padding on the seat part.
Yeah.
Right. That's the plastic part. The plastic back and the plastic seat.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Dun.
So, good times. Good times. It's nice to see any, and back to the actor. It is good to see a wrestler that's worked hard, as long as they don't like sell out to China, call Taiwan not a country. It's good to see them like get a little success elsewhere too, because the problem is when Vince McMahon knows something's guaranteed and know he has you or know that he's the only wrestling promotion. I mean, he just doesn't fucking try as hard. You know, he gets that weird problem in his head where he thinks he's going to tell the audience what they want to see instead of listening to the audience.
Right. Sure, Vince. Sure, McMahon. Sure. Ping.
The true
Emperor.
ruler of the world, Vince McMahon.
Sure.
Goddamn.
Look, they used to say with Cena, well, we don't want to turn him heel, which is something the fans really wanted because of our merchandise. But it's like, I don't want to hear about merchandise. Like, when you listen to your fans, you see Austin 316 shirts all over the fucking place. Everyone's
He didn't wrestle for 19 years and you could still buy his shit the entire 19 years.
Yeah.
With no problems, and you would still see it everywhere.
Yeah. And meanwhile, I didn't see Cena. Like, sometimes I'd see like a kid wearing a Cena shirt or something.
Generally,
but
yeah.
It wasn't all over the fucking place. So, you know, take some risks. Listen to your fucking fans. If they're cheering for CM Punk, maybe roll with them, you know? What's the worst that can happen? Instead of fucking, you know, like they'd give him the title, but they'd make him look weak as fuck with it. Triple H pinning him in the middle of the ring and shit. Like, what are you doing?
And no wonder is Ryback.
Yeah. Fucking, I mean, like, it's good that they finally let Roman, like, be a heel because the fucking fans hated him. They hated him. And they hated him being shoved down our throats. Cena and Reigns and all, they're just the corporate champion that they used to play up in the storyline between McMahon and Austin. And he wants him to be the nice corporate champion. The fans would fucking boo. That's what the champions are these days.
Yep.
So, sucks. Hail Alec Arcane, good to see you. Yeah, like fucking we watch wrestling because we want outlaws. We want people that can't go get a job in the workplace. You know, they're too fucking wild. People who don't have to listen to authority. That's why I like there being more than one wrestling promotion, because if anything, the wrestlers have somewhere else to go to threaten these people with.
Of course.
You know. So let's go ahead and get ready to wrap it up. I'm going to start with John China tonight because he just finished another project, the 6th project, Shadow of the Kraken. Fucking
That's right.
Not only are we all excited to read it, but I know we're all fucking proud of him. He kicks ass. He works hard and shows what happens, you know, when you keep your nose to the grindstone.
You're damn skippy, laddie. This guy right here knows how to get it done. He's sailing into your port. Not your port side, but your port.
Sure. Shadow of the Kraken. Sure. No. Sorry, guys. It's too much fun to just make fun of that fucker. Tony said it, man. I am finished with the book. It's been a whole lot of work, especially last night and today, resizing the files and making sure everything was great. Because my printer, they changed things from like the last time that I had ordered books. So Chris Fisk is the man. He helped me so much on that. But yes, I ordered my proof copies today. So once those are in and they look beautiful, I will put the major order in. So hell yeah, I cannot wait for you guys to read this. There's been a few people who have read it so far. Tommy's one of them. I just hearing the praise from them too. That was just, it's awesome. So I know this is a winner all the way. And the amount of work that I put into it, crafting the whole story, every bit of detail that I put on every single page. Yeah, get ready, folks. It's coming. It's coming hard. It's coming thick. Right in your face.
Ooh.
It's splashing up from the lower decks.
From the depths we rise.
Yeah, and check out, you know, their projects right now. They can be in the mail tomorrow. Check out Through the Woods, City of Venus, fucking quality product. You know, you don't have to. Yeah, they can't make videos about how woke this shit is because it's not. They got to make videos about how good it is. So.
Yeah, and I don't need to cry to people either and be like, "Hey, I'm 3 years late on my book. I'm gonna put out an update. Watch me draw live on YouTube."
Ribbit, ribbit.
Finish your work. Get it out there. Make people happy.
Frog it.
Simple recipe.
Frog it.
Don't be a frog it.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not backed Shadow of the Kraken, I don't know what you're waiting for, you landlubbers. It's time to get on board with the most epic sea adventures that you've ever seen in your life, outside of any kind of pirate show or TV movie that you may have seen. This one has it all. It has adventure, it has excitement, and it's got nice round backsides that you can firmly sink your hands onto once you get that book in. But don't pull a Walton and don't make it sticky like all the pine trees.
Brutal Morningwood says, all I know is the next time Vinny invites me to a live stream, don't freak out and go, what do I do? What do I do? Quick touch his butt.
Yep. Just grab his ass.
Well, this guy's looking to get another invite very soon.
Goddamn.
And another monster says, Vinny, you rock. Keep keeping it real.
Absolutely, brother. All the way. That's the only way I know how to be is genuine. You know, I'm not fake and phony like those bitches out there. We work hard. We have a lot of fun on these streams. And yeah, remember, subscribe to my channel as well because we continue the party over there all the time. So Fridays and Sundays, I'll be starting to do some more different streams, like surprise streams or even short ones here and there. Yeah, I'm going to be playing around with a few different things. So yeah, get ready. More cool stuff happening.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for coming on tonight, man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. It's always a blast. Love this panel. Love this chat. Amen.
Oh, yeah. Etep.
Hey. So, yeah, it's I'm going to finish my birthday editing this Fall Brawl 45-minute video, which I had uploaded and got struck down because of copyright bullshit, of course, 3 times already during the course of this stream. So I'm going to re-edit this and have that uploaded for channel members. We just got a new channel member tonight. Be sure to tune in tomorrow when me and Tony are live at 9 p.m. for Wednesday Night Live. I will have the Fall Brawl video out tonight. The Nitro video will drop tomorrow night. This will all be for channel members. Then they'll go public on Thursday and Friday, respectively. So yeah, and then this weekend I should be recording a lot because I will probably be in an empty house. So yeah, I'll be recording a lot. So at the beginning of the week while I'm producing the wrestling videos, there's not a lull in single release content. So, and yeah, I'll be on Outcast Owls live Thursday night at 9 Eastern. And I'm on Good Stuff Comic Skaters Sunday night at, I believe it's 9 Eastern too.
Yeah, that's 9 Eastern.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that too as well. That'll be fun.
God, I feel sorry
Thank
for
you.
all the walls in your house that you're going to be home alone.
Happy birthday, brother. Thank you for spending it with us here.
Happy birthday, man.
Absolutely.
So I got a question, Etep. If you get 5 copyright strikes, can you actually start doing the 5-time copy strike written YouTuber?
I think I'm going to. I'm trying to re-edit this piece right now and not screw up the dialogue too much. But my God, dude, like they're like overly sensitive about this shit. Like it's freaking ridiculous.
I love your edits though, especially when I can tell where you've been editing and had to stop and then rewind back. Oh, I love it.
Yep.
While we're on the 5-time subject, I mean, do you think they missed an opportunity not calling Charmel Hooker T?
Yes.
Yes.
Without hesitation, yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, thank you, Etep. Happy birthday, brother.
Yeah, happy
Thank
birthday,
you,
bro.
man, for having me. Love you guys. Thank you all.
Yeah, happy birthday.
The vampire.
Hey guys, you can catch me on Twitch. I'm playing Elden Ring right now. I put a thing on Twitter asking if people wanted to see me play. Then it's a new game called Vampire Survivors. It's like this 8-bit like retro kind of like roguelike slash like horde mode kind of thing. I don't know, but it's pretty fun. A bunch of shit on the screen, you know, kind of like a bullet hell kind of game as well. And then once I'm done with Elden Ring, I want to go back and play some Final Fantasy 14 because the new stuff dropped over there. But yeah, after here, I'm probably going to go over there and play some Elden Ring. So check me out.
Well, thank you for coming on tonight, bro.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
Yeah, dude. Hope you can make it as often as possible, dude. We love it when you're on, but we get it. The factory calls, man.
Yep. Sadly.
Cracker factory.
Draven's got to make that human meat, boy.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Milhouse's dad, brother. Gotcha, man. Yeah, thanks for coming on, bro. We'll see you soon.
Yep.
The guinea pig.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tommy in the Guinea Pig Collective. And for the past 20 years, I've been an asshole. And I'm not going to stop now. This is like an AA meeting, right? Hey, everybody, what's going on? Tommy in the Guinea Pig Collective. You know what I do over on Monday nights on my channel. We do Going Old School Retro Discussions at 6 p.m. Eastern, where we talk about the old things that we love from the past, old toys, games, movies, TV shows, you name it. We delve into all that stuff and we have a good time remembering all that stuff that we love so much and why we are fighting to protect it today from these people that just want to destroy everything that we love. And then back again on Thursday, right after the Red Gaze and the Probe at 7:45 p.m. Eastern. VinnieArt and I get together for United Underground Presents Collectible Pass, where we talk about a lot of the retro toys and the older toys that a lot of that stuff is being based on and that they are doing right today. Because you know That's what? Right. It's always fun to delve into this stuff that is actually wondrous, that is actually fun. And the companies that are still paying respect to the shit that came before, because it seems to be so far and few in between. But guys, remember, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, what you should or should not watch, because your silence gives consent, and it may get your toes nibbled off. And of course, as always, I would be remiss if I didn't mention, please don't forget about our good buddy, our brother, Drew Taylor, aka Supreme Heretic. He still has the Give and Go fund going up for his mother, for everything that's involved with that after his mother passed away. He's having a hard time. So guys, if you can find that, share that link around. Make sure to give it a look, at the very least. Donate if you can, and send some prayers. Thanks, guys. Tony, awesome. Chat, you all are amazing. And once again, Etep, happy birthday, brother.
Thank you, Tommy. Appreciate it, bro.
And Haladega Outlaw, by the way, good to see you. He says he doesn't speak Guinea. And Draven, real weak.
Son of a bitch. See, you made me go full werepig again.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
That's awesome.
Son of a bitch.
Draven, another monster, says whenever he starts to feel good about himself, he plays Elden Ring.
Okay.
Yes. So thank you, Tommy. Super fan. What's up, brother?
What's up? Tomorrow I will be on Digital Pollution. Friday, the men's room. Of course, you will find me basically everywhere that these gentlemen are, since I am a super fan of everybody that is on this panel. Always having a good time. Love talking wrestling. Poor Tony gets messages from me all the time because we're watching wrestling, talking life, and having fun. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, the chat. It was awesome. And, of course, to my buddy Etep, happy birthday, buddy.
Oh, man. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
I enjoyed reliving my 21st birthday with you on your 24th.
That's right. My 24th. I'll take that.
I knew I forgot to mention something. So September 2nd edition, right? The September 2nd edition of Nitro would have been Adam's 21st birthday.
Yep, my 21st birthday, and 2 days after that, my daughter was born. So to me, like this time frame, especially this Monday Nitro, it was just like to see the giant come out, and then just to relive all that, because now I'm now I'm grandpa, so from my daughter as well. So it's great. I got a 5-month-old granddaughter. So, and then be able to do this with you guys and relive it with you guys, and especially on your birthday, you couldn't ask for a better time to relive this with great friends. So I felt really blessed, and thank you, Tony.
Yeah. I didn't have the internet back then, so it's like, I didn't have many friends to talk to about this while it was happening. So having all of you here now and fucking being able to talk it every week, it's great. It's something, I didn't really get to experience when it was happening live. So,
yeah. No, I hear you. And that is great. I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat. It was me, my brothers, and then my cousin. My cousin's kind of a dick. So,
yeah. I had people telling you're way too into wrestling, like you were just talking about last week. It's like, yeah, because he fucking poured concrete into a sports car last week. This week he pulled up with the beer truck, spraying the fuck out of it. Like, how can I not talk about that?
Exactly.
It's fucking awesome.
Damn right. And that's the thing. It was cool to talk about at the water cooler by the time we get to some of this stuff that's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
What?
1997 is a good year for wrestling, so I'm excited. We're in September 96. Next thing you know, we'll be in January, and it starts picking up, especially WWF. I think around March it really starts getting better. So
we know it's coming because Bret Hart's coming back, and we know what happens with Bret and Austin. So
he's been gone almost the whole year since WrestleMania. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't remember him being gone like that long, but it was. So, and I think this is where they were like discussing his contract and stuff that they end up going back on. I think that Vince ends up going back on around Survivor Series, which is funny because it's like Shawn who's kind of depressed and wants to leave because he misses his friends. By the time Six shows up in WCW and everything, Shawn's going to be asking to get let go from his contract. So it ends up being Bret that goes, but he almost didn't have DX or any of that. So it's just weird how things turned out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So,
but epic for all of us on the panel and everybody in the chat that loves wrestling and loves to talk and loves to listen to us talk about it. Etep going full into the details now for stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it's great. There's just so much fun, man. And I appreciate you guys doing it, allowing me to be a part of it, on the panel and in the chat. Thank you for doing it, though, Tony and Etep.
Hell yeah.
Oh, you're welcome, man.
And even Tommy for joining in, and Mr. Vinnie, because it was just great. And of course, the vampire that one day maybe poor Etep will get to meet.
Yeah, one day.
Someday we'll be together.
Well, Draven, he did say he's home alone this weekend. There's nothing stopping me from going to his house and kidnapping him.
This weekend? I have a 3-day weekend this weekend. Make it happen.
See?
Oh, damn.
Fuck yeah, the Midwest get together. I don't know.
I'll be out there to see you soon enough, Tony.
We should be meeting on 8 Mile, man. We can go to Mom's Spaghetti.
Right.
Get some shit cold M&M spaghetti. Yes.
They should have actually opened a restaurant with that name. It's Bostomania. No, it's Mom's Spaghetti. Shut up, Hulk.
Know your role, Hogan.
You bigot, Hogan.
Yes. Fuck Hogan. Your daughter can date whoever she wants. She wants, damn it.
Yeah, even if it's Bully Ray.
That's right. N-word hard R.
Yeah. Even if
that's
it's
what Hogan did. He's like, "What are you doing with another one?"
That's that you know, that image of him spray painting NWO on the side of that truck. I've made so many memes with that. Given Hogan's track record with using the hard R, that is such a good meme template.
Oh, totally. He is such a piece of shit.
Remember when Brooke was trying to be like the next Britney Spears?
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you should have did is you should get a picture of Hogan spray painting and just get the album cover for NWO with the wall where they got it spray painted on the wall.
Yeah.
Hilarious. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we'll see you next week. We'll see you tomorrow over on Etep's, Thursday over on Tommy's, and over on Reds for the Probe. Friday at Vinnie's, Sunday at Vinnie's, Saturday at Walton's. Like, fucking, we're all over the place all week. So check us out. Remember, they are not pop culture. They are agenda. We are pop culture. And we'll see you soon.